All right, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Paul Zitzer is with us. How are you, dude?
Good, thank you. It's
What is so funny, dude? I haven't even said anything yet, and he's already laughing.
We've been talking about this moment for a long time.
Yeah. I've known Kelly longer than I have you guys.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time together.
Maybe that's a different podcast. Maybe that's a different podcast. I don't know.
No, I'm happy you're here, dude.
Thanks for making it happen. He's persistent.
Yeah.
He actually has been asking me for about
Hold on.
probably.
I'm gonna raise it up. You're tall.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, how tall are you?
Dude, I'm like easy 5'9.25". Exactly.
You got good posture. There you go.
I'm famous for having terrible posture. I'm like Brian Wenning of Vert. Okay.
Yeah,
so.
okay. I don't know what it, but
Okay.
you could, you got a good. I don't know, bro. You got a good. You're sitting very proper right now.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I was just adjusting so we could hear you better.
I've known Kelly forever. We get to travel the world together. We laugh a lot.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot of similar friends.
Kelly laughs. No.
Yeah,
That's weird. Weird.
but he's fun to be around because of it.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no. And he's one of those people. I tend to show my affection for people with like put downs, unfortunately. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm always saying something negative about Kelly. But it's because I like him so much. It really is. If I didn't like him, I wouldn't.
I think a lot of people do that with friends. We go in on each other.
Poke.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta poke your friends, you know?
I feel, especially as skaters, I think we do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like, vert skating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tampa,
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Uh-huh. Yeah, where did it start?
Yeah,
How did we-
Well, I don't want to
all
go into the whole
start,
thing,
dude.
but you played a pivotal role in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
In the vert ramp there. Am correct?
I could talk about it for an hour, but I won't.
Okay.
So yes, I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was like 15, my parents realized my brother and I were super into skating. We loved it. My brother was a BMXer too. They're like, we should open a skate shop because there was nowhere to get skate stuff. So like 6 months later, we're opening a skate shop. And so my parents have been the most supportive parents ever in skateboarding, next to maybe Frank Hawk. They're like right there.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we had a skate shop all through high school.
What was it called, by the way? Sorry.
It was called Rad Sports back in the day, very 80s. This was 1985. And then later it became Phase 2 when it was like Plan B era. You know what I mean? It's like, time for an upgrade.
Okay.
Phase 2. It's still Phase 2. It's there. My brother's there running it
He
right
owns
now.
it. Your family still owns it.
Yeah, but my brother runs it fully.
Incredible.
Yeah, owns it.
That's
I
so
love
rad.
that.
So it's 40 years.
Wow.
So after high school, though, I went straight to Florida because I couldn't deal with Milwaukee winters. They were too brutal. It was tough. So all I wanted to do was live where it was warm all year round. And we'd vacationed a bunch in Florida, so I knew it. And then I applied to a school there, got accepted, moved to Tampa. And so I was there for a couple years, just skating vert ramps with the Florida vert crew, like Brian Schaefer and Mike Frazier. Nice. And there were a lot of great skaters there at the time on vert. And then all the vert ramps got torn down. They were all gone. And so I kind of like conned my parents into like funding a vert ramp, like key holder facility. So I had a private indoor vert ramp for a year that we hired Tim Payne to come and build it. I couldn't believe it, how it all came together. We paid him $1,000 and he came from Orlando because that's where he lived. This was like after Animal Chin. I was like, I can't believe we got that Animal Chin guy building our vert ramp. Wow. So we built a vert ramp.
What year was this? I'm sorry.
This then was 1991, okay. 1991, 92. And so that ramp was up for a year.
Where was that?
It was right near the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium in Tampa.
Okay.
I mean, it's in Tampa.
Okay, so it was not at Skatepark of Tampa.
No. But it was like what led to Skatepark of Tampa.
Oh, okay.
So
Is this the vert ramp we're in question? That we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about?
it.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Sick.
in like South Tampa.
So wait, whose buildings was this?
It was we rented it. It was $1,000 a month,
amazing.
and we had a huge posse of vert dudes paying the rent. They turned out to be unreliable. Hey, I don't have the $50 this month, but how about some used Spitfires and like this old pair
That'll
of
pay the electric bill.
you
That'll
go ahead
pay.
and sell those.
That'll pay
Yeah.
the lights.
But so
Well, you don't get to skate with the lights on. How about that?
there's Mike Frazier,
Amazing.
one of the greatest vert skaters of all time, and one of my all-time favorite people in the universe. Best dude ever. You need to get him here.
I would love that.
Okay.
I'd love that. If you could
I'll put you in
a good
touch.
Word, yeah.
So yeah, that was the ramp. It was a really fun ramp. We had so many great sessions, and people started coming down. The Canadians would come down, like Bill Weiss, Thomas Morgan, vert skating version of Thomas Morgan.
Okay.
Justin Bokma, he was so good on vert too, and such. Love those guys. They'd come down. All the guys from North Carolina started coming down, like Mike Sinclair.
Okay.
And well, Kenny Hughes. He did skate some vert. All those guys, they'd come down all the time, and then the ramp. Should I tell this story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to know
Yeah.
what happened to it.
It was in a rough neighborhood, and after like it was coming up on a year, and things weren't looking good for the renewal of the lease anyway. The landlord was like, I need to raise the rent. I was like, we're not paying more. We can't do it. We're probably going to move out anyway.
Wow.
But it wasn't set in stone. And one night, there was a murder down the street from this ramp.
Okay.
Cops show up. Hey, you know anything about this? What's happening down there? I was like, no, what's happening? You don't know? No. Okay. Here's our card. If you hear anything, call us. And they got my info. And a couple days later, they call me and they're like, we're coming over to see you. Coming to your house. They show up at my house and said, we know you did it.
What?
way.
Yeah. They're like, you did it. We've got partial license plate and we know it was a skater because he had a skateboard wheel stuck in his head. They said this to me. And I was like, oh, like at first I was super nervous. Like, whoa, what? Like you don't ever want to hear that. And then he said the guy had a skateboard wheel stuck in his head. And I was like, okay, that's not true. That could never happen. So we're done here. Thankfully, my mom was in town visiting, and she was like, okay, you're talking to the police. But as soon as that started to go down, she pretty much kicked them out. She's like, this whatever you're trying to do here is not cool. Get out, come back when you've got something more than
A
lies.
wheel in the head.
Yeah.
Wheel in the head.
So, okay, so that's really just tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
The locals, I guess the community thought we'd done. Maybe the cops told everybody we did it.
Oh, wow.
So here comes the lynch mob with like rakes, baseball bats, golf clubs. They were like going to come smash the place up and maybe pay back on us.
Skaters
Wait,
or just
no.
public?
The local public.
Local public.
Yeah, the neighbors of this.
Okay.
And you don't even know what this is about at all.
No. I mean, somebody got
somebody
killed
got
at
killed,
the
but yes.
corner store. So yeah, but one of the
the
skaters.
cops definitely went around and told everybody, right? I mean, how else would everybody have come to the building?
Yeah, I don't know because we weren't interacting with we were just like renting a little spot in this big building complex. So anyway, they came to smash the place up, cause trouble. One of my friends, Sean Kane, got out a can of mace and maced this whole posse.
What, dude?
Maced them. And they ran off like, I actually wasn't there at that moment. So I've heard stories. They run off. Everybody goes home. Somebody shuts up the building where we leave for the night. The locals came back later that night and tried to burn the building down. Wow. That's what happened. So one of my friends had left his car there. He went out. He came back to pick up his car, and smoke was pouring out of the building. So he calls the fire department, the police. Everybody comes. They lit a pile of oily rags on fire to try to burn the ramp and building down.
Way.
So that was it. That was the final straw. The landlord was not happy. He was like, "You guys are out." We're like, "Okay, we're out." Tear the ramp down. I'm devastated. I'm addicted to Vert. I need to be skating Vert every day, all the time. Now our Vert ramp's gone.
This was the early 90s, too.
Early 90s.
Vert's dead,
Vert's
right?
dead.
Yeah.
So Brian Schaefer, a few months later, we had the ramp sitting in his dad's like garage, like behind his garage somewhere.
Oh, so you broke it down properly.
We broke it down. It was, Tim Payne built it proper. So when we took it apart, came apart in perfect pieces. We set it there, but it's Florida. It was not treated wood. It's sitting outside under some tarps. It's like that thing is going to rot in like 6 months. But 2 or 3 months later, Schaefer calls, "Hey, I found a building. I'm renting it. We're going to put the Vert ramp back up." And that's Skatepark of Tampa.
Wow.
So that was January 1st, 1993.
Damn.
We met him at the new spot. Here it is, and he opens the door. We walk in there. We're like, "Yeah, this could work." It's like, and then here we are. That was 93, and now it's 32 years later.
Damn.
And all that history and everything that has gone down in there. I've been there for most of it. I feel so lucky and blessed, but it all came from that. So it was like so many factors coming together to make that happen.
The Vert ramp didn't last though, right? At the Skatepark of Tampa, they had taken it down.
Well,
at a certain point,
right. At first, it was right in the middle of what is now the street course, like right there, boom. And then we started building street stuff around it. But back then, a bunch of people lived in the building. Schaefer lived there for years, and Kirk the Jerk lived there. You can get him on. There were probably 5 or 6 people living in there. And that's when so many people started coming to town. "We've heard you got a cool scene here." People like hopping trains, all kinds of like weirdos and trolls from everywhere.
Really?
Just showing up. There was a kid named Hall Rat. He lived in the hall. I don't know what his name was. He was there forever.
And wait a minute, can I just really quickly, the Skatepark of Tampa, when you're in the era you're talking about, was it a public park or was it just a warehouse for the homies?
Honestly,
what is going on?
That's such a good question. It was not started as a skate park. Not at all. It was for the homies, but then Schaefer opened up a skate shop in the front.
Okay. We'll have to get Schaefer on at one point in time.
For sure.
Talk to him
You need to
about
get
it.
him
Yeah,
in here.
100%.
So he was selling stuff, but mainly people were paying rent to live there.
Okay.
And then I think probably people contributed who were skating there. And then once again, all those people from Canada and North Carolina and all over, they'd come and stay there, and it was such a fun time. So after the first year, we moved the Vert ramp into the corner of the warehouse. So it was kind of set off to the side. So the whole street course was open. Now that same area that we had moved the Vert ramp into, now that's all offices and stuff. It's all been filled in with.
Okay.
You'd be like, where? I don't get where the Vert ramp was, but it's like now it's offices.
Gotcha.
And then I think I moved out here in 1999, and the Vert ramp was still there, and then they moved it outside, and then so it was inside for 6, 7, 8 years before.
Obviously, the weather got to it. I would assume if it was outside.
Well, actually, they didn't move that Vert ramp outside. They got a Red Bull ramp, metal frame. So it was solid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When did they start the contest though?
That was only like that would have been year 2, basically. Once we moved the Vert ramp into the corner, that's when there were the indoor Vert contests right there. Tuss Pappas versus Danny Way versus Tony Hawk. Those were good Vert days. But then, 1995, Mike V. Hockey jersey.
during the street?
95.
Oh, so they just had the 30-year anniversary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, this one was 31 now.
31,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the whole story.
It was cool that for the 30th they had the Vert ramp back.
Mm-hmm.
That's rad. That is an homage to like how it all started.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was very cool. People were hyped. unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows this. The vert ramp's not even up right now.
Right.
Permit problems.
Oh, that's. I always wondered why. Because you guys have the whole concrete bowl stuff.
Yeah, it just honestly, it was kind of just a like oversight. The vert ramp was in the parking lot, and it covered up too many parking spots. And if you have a business, you have to have a certain amount of parking.
Oh, so the vert ramp was supposed to be a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so
I thought it was just for the.
we're in the process
30
of
years.
moving.
Okay.
So
Wow.
hopefully it's back up soon. But
Damn. Why did you move to LA? Or did you say LA?
I moved to San Diego.
San Diego.
I just felt like I was in a rut, kind of bored. Same thing day after day after day. And then I thought, like, I never moved out here earlier. I think mainly because there weren't vert ramps out here, which is weird.
Right.
There were always maybe one or two that you could maybe skate. Like their girl had a vert ramp for a while, but
they did. They cut it down to a mini ramp. Remember? Yeah.
That's
And then eliminated.
Yeah.
it.
And then after that, it was gone.
and then a ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
I
now
guess
San Diego has a bunch of.
There's so
it's-
many.
It's a vert
Yeah.
ramp and mega ramp
on every
wonderland.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you weren't
Starbucks.
This whole time you weren't even working for them. You were just like purely a pro skateboarder.
Right. I was a pro skateboarder. I lived off of skateboarding from like 93 or 4 until 2004 or 5. I had a decade run. No jobs. Well, I did take one job because I thought like maybe it's time to give it up. I got an internet skate magazine job in 2000. You remember the internet skate magazines? Monster Skate, Blue Torch, and Hard Cloud?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. See?
See what?
I quit. I was like,
Shortly lived.
this is terrible.
This must have been when the internet just kind of.
It was dial-up.
Came.
Dial-up.
Oh, were you just like doing like journalism type stuff for it?
Yeah.
Am I mistaken,
Yeah,
or was like
yeah.
was the biggest first internet like skate? Was it Heliclips? I feel like
that was even
like,
later, but
That was
way
later.
I feel like
But I feel like that one was huge. What was a huge skateboarding internet site before?
Transworld was big. Transworld had some good stuff.
Okay.
But early on, I mean, I would just look at companies' websites.
yeah, none of them were good.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
no one figured it out. It was funny though. I think
Heliclips was good, I thought.
Yeah,
I thought
it was.
pretty
I
good.
thought so, too.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
that was way
way later. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a little later, like Skateboard Mag had a good one. Mm-hmm.
But those were all related to like business magazines
Yeah.
and stuff.
yeah, I'm trying to think back then, but
whatever. I don't think it wasn't cool. It was like I thought maybe it's time for the next thing to not just try to skate forever, because then I didn't feel like it was going in the right direction. And then I started working. I was like, this is definitely not the right direction.
Also, to be fair, back then too, the skate careers weren't. People thought you were done at like 20 years old,
Right.
18 years old, whatever.
short-lived.
you know?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like
and
true.
Vert wasn't like
Vert was dead
Yeah.
as dead.
Yeah, Vert wasn't that popular.
yeah, street cab.
Yeah, but
you
know,
skated some street, dude.
dude, I always skated street.
Okay.
I never thought of myself as a vert dude. I was always just a skater. I was better on vert. That's all.
Right.
So the weird thing about a skate vert career though at that time was you had weird opportunities that street skaters didn't have.
Right.
Still to this day, I feel like.
Yeah. So
that was what, and that was what.
I call it being a blue collar pro. It's like you're a working man pro. You're gonna show up and do the demo. You're like I skated at Legoland one time for a month, doing like 3 or 4 shows a day, where you're sitting there like you're just an entertainer at that point. And we would, I mean, I hate to even admit it, we would skate out and they'd be playing Skater Boy super loud, and they were like gymnasts like doing flips and stuff, and they had like a basketball part of the demo, and then we drop in and do like choreographed runs.
Really?
Yeah, but it's like, okay,
They had that
You're
though.
paying
like,
the bills.
They had that for. I think I brought this up before. Like at SeaWorld, they had Primo Desidero.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had like little like I I guess skate little things that
entertainment.
Entertainment. There you
And
go.
Vert, I'm going to tell you this: Vert is entertaining.
It really is.
It is. When you watch Vert in person, it is insane that these guys are flying through the air and everything. Like it's impressive.
I agree.
And for somebody that doesn't even skate, it's like, wow, these
Yeah, I
guys
think
are crazy.
for people that don't skate, they're like, can't
yeah,
believe
it is a show.
I mean, that's why it should be. I guess it should be in the Olympics.
I 100,000. Yes.
Yeah.
They're totally fucking up not having it in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Did you get paid good for that?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Legoland, $200 a day.
4 demos a day, $200.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
$50 a demo?
That's pretty harsh. But I mean, this is 25 years ago, right? Like,
yeah.
So
Inflation.
rent was $800, and you're like, well, okay, I can make like $6,000 or
Wait,
something.
were you there every day or
Pretty much every day. Every day.
Oh, every day,
Yeah.
$200 a day.
Yeah. So whatever. But I did that same stuff at Disneyland then. I did different versions of the Boom Boom Huck Jam. Like pay went up over time, thankfully.
Yeah. Who are you doing these demos with? Like Andy Mack? I
Yep,
feel
lots
like
of Andy Mack,
Yep.
lots
Okay.
of Buster Halterman.
There he is.
What? Buster.
Buster Halterman's like I brought that name up like on the live show.
Always.
I do bring it up because Buster Halterman's a great vert skater.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah. He
But
still is.
Brought it up and Chris was like, "Who is that?" I was like,
Sounds like a
"Dude."
boxer.
Yeah.
Buster Halterman.
Buster,
you know,
hey.
like coming in the ring.
I was like, "He's a legendary vert skater, bro."
Best dude. Pennsylvania's finest. Yeah.
we
sick.
hear nothing but good things about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great dude.
So, okay, Andy Mack, Buster Halterman.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the dudes. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it was Bob Burnquist and Bucky Lassick and
Wow.
Birdman.
Okay.
You know.
Damn.
Were you still sponsored at that time and getting paid for that too?
Yep. Cash and checks all over the place, Kelly.
That's what I like to hear, dude.
They knew him at the Bank of America. Here comes Paul Zitzer again, man. Got those checks.
Yes. I love that.
What was the
But that's
question?
cool, though. I mean, you got some
Yeah.
gigs,
Yeah.
you know, that street skaters don't have.
Right. You're street skating. It's hard to entertain a crowd as a street skater.
Yeah.
That's why I think it should be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
If they're going to keep doing the skateboarding in the Olympics thing, like street is awesome. We're street skaters. I love street, but like to the normal person, it
How about
just
this?
doesn't translate.
What do you guys think of the format? Like,
Are we going to get into the Olympics right now?
you want to?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Format. It should. In my opinion. Well, what do you think?
For which category? For
Street Olympics format.
We just heard.
We just talked about it.
Oh yeah, with Gustavo, the new
Gustavo Rivera.
And I just heard about this yesterday.
Okay.
Did you know about this exactly?
No.
He said there's gonna be like, to be fair, I can't even exactly
I know.
remember.
I don't remember either.
But it sounded like in the finals, it's gonna be just 3 runs.
So in the finals, it's like 2 runs or something.
I can't remember what he said. I honestly,
Going up to that,
we're gonna butcher this. I feel
Yeah,
like we shouldn't even
man,
talk. I wouldn't
fuck.
even.
Yeah.
We should look it up or something because I
Okay.
can't remember what he said. Because I was unaware of.
I back that though. If it's runs,
that's
I
cool.
like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I like the Tampa format, old school. Tampa has a 3-run final format. You get the best skating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to follow too. I mean, like when they start doing the best tricks,
Yeah.
that's cool. But like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm also like we're biased,
Yeah.
but you have to think about all the other people that are watching this on a world stage that have
Right.
no fucking clue about a skateboard. You know what's
Yeah.
entertaining for them to watch.
Right.
Yeah. I think I always trip out on how someone could do a trick in their run that's like cab back tailed on a huge rail. And they get like and they finish the run and get like an 8.6 and then do a cab back tail down the rail by itself and it gets like a 8.2. You're like, how do you justify?
It's hard to explain that
It's hard
one.
to explain that one
Yeah.
and it's tough. I don't know. But
In-
yeah. So I don't know. You've seen all the judging over the years. Yeah, like what is so the Skatepark of Tampa format is your favorite? What about Street League stuff?
Well, no, I like the Street League format a lot for Street League. I think it's great.
They
I
just
think-
changed it too, right?
They did this year. They keep improving it to make it make
Yeah.
more sense. This year is the best it's ever been. I feel like.
I like that you take the runs and then you can use a run score, but you don't have to. So it's like it plays to everybody's strengths.
I thought you have to use like 4 total.
Four
right?
scores,
So
right.
it could be 2 runs, 2 best tricks.
No, only one run.
Only one run.
Oh, only 1 run.
You can only use 1 run if you want to.
Or you could use 4 best tricks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So I think that's cool. And as skaters, we understand what's going on. We get it. We can watch it and enjoy it. But I think for the general population watching from around the world, I don't think that's the right way to present skating, to sell it.
How would you? What would be your?
I'd just do runs.
Just runs.
Just runs with a super good course.
Yeah.
Right.
Really entertaining course. And
The first Olympic course was pretty insane.
Dude.
It was too much. It was like the hugest,
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
was symmetrical, but everything was huge. Like,
Yeah.
I skated it personally. I was like, you have to be the most insane. I mean, that's why they're there, but like, still,
It was
shouldn't be that
limiting
crazy.
because not
Yeah.
every great pro skateboarder is trying to be crazy, though. Some of them are just really good and technical, and they're like, what? I got to figure out how to skate this 18 stair rail with a launch ramp to it. And the park course was insane also. It was like psycho.
You did announcing on the first Olympics.
Yeah.
And, which, I didn't see that feed. There was a bunch of different feeds.
Man,
I
no
was
one
bummed.
saw it.
I was so bummed on the first Olympics.
Me too.
I'm glad that, if they're going to keep doing the Olympics, I'm not sold on the whole Olympics thing for me personally. We had a Gustavo Ribeiro on. He said that he thinks it's great because there's more kids in Portugal skating now than there ever was
He's
and
seen the
stuff like
effects.
that. He's seen the effects. But for me, I'm like, they just need to keep upgrading it, I think, for it to work,
Yes.
The first thing, women's scoring was horrible
Dude,
in the first Olympics.
yeah, no, it absolutely was. They were getting 3.2s and
For doing like a nose grind down the fucking hubba. And I'm
yeah.
like, dude,
It was-
how anticlimactic is that?
I think they were. I totally agree. They were trying to fight it that like the guy and girl scoring to be in the same exact like
Scale.
level of skill, and I'm like, dude, it's different. Like you
Right. So
can't.
different.
You gotta
you
score
judge
differently.
based on the talent of the field,
Yes.
not on the talent of the other field.
But how is a skater supposed to
they
feel
can't
if they
compare.
just did the best trick of their life and they get a 4? Like
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
so deflated.
I actually went to
And for the crowd. Like
No,
and
for
me
sure.
watching it, I'm like, that was fucking sick. 4.
No,
Yeah.
all around.
Like,
and
horrible.
people were hating on it
Worst,
so
the
bad.
worst.
There was no defense for it. It was terrible.
Yeah. But they since then they cleaned it up.
They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, they
clean that
realized
up.
like we can't do it like
Yeah.
that.
But to go back to the commentating, how did you even get hired for that?
I had been commentating for the Do Tour for years. Just by dumb blind luck stumbled into that one. It was so crazy. I never set out to be a commentator or an announcer ever. It doesn't even jive with my personality in the least. Nobody's like, that's what you're gonna do.
You do a good job.
You
do.
one
You
of
do
the
that good
best.
job,
One of the
definitely.
best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I work at it and I've learned how to do it. For the most part, I've figured out sort of how it works. And I'm like, okay, it's not rocket science. We're talking about skating. I show up and I can do it. But so I was at the first ever Do Tour, first one ever. And they had these 2 dudes that one of them was a former rollerblader and the other was a former BMX pro. They were the announcers at the first Do Tour. They had been hired by NBC to do it. So I skated qualifiers, didn't make the final, and they needed a color guy. So I was just standing there, and they're looking around, and somebody's like, "Oh, can you do it?" Like, I was like, "Sure, yep." And 5 minutes later, there's this dude and this dude, and we all have microphones, and they turn the lights on, and we're about to start the finals, like of the Vert finals, first ever Do Tour, and that was it. So I was super nervous, but it was so funny. The dudes announcing got confused. They were saying, "Welcome to the BMX finals. BMXers are going off behind us." I'm like, what? Like skateboarding? What is going on? And then I realized like they were, I don't know they didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
And so it just helped me calm down. And then we just talked about what I was looking at.
Okay.
And then I got hired for the next 10 years of the Do Tour. And then I ended up at the Olympics.
Amazing.
And those guys were no longer in the picture. After
No,
that.
but I shouldn't be bashing them. I love those dudes, but
Yeah.
they were great. They were great, but they came out talking about BMX.
Yeah,
and,
that's not. I mean,
so
Also,
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of
They
what
just
the
messed up.
besides you commentating, I feel like
Yeah.
that's what the Olympics did. They just had any person affiliated with some type of sport to get in there and commentate. The feed I was watching was like two British dudes
know.
calling Steve Caballero and like
Yes.
totally just butchering everything. They knew a little bit. You could tell
You
they
could
knew
tell that-
skating,
yeah.
but I'm
It
like,
was-
what is going on
it was
here?
bad.
My whole gripe was with it was like, there are so many talented people in skateboarding. Use them. Like yourself, there's so many people that are good at announcing. There's so many people that
Yeah.
are good at camera operating. There's
I
so many
know,
good
it's
at,
sad.
we have our own ecosystem like that can make skateboarding
Yeah.
look amazing and sound amazing. Use us.
Yeah.
Don't hire some fucking, canoe guy to do the announcing.
They didn't
Yeah.
take the time. Obviously, it was a beginning of like what was going to be of the Olympics. Now that I think hopefully they've learned their lesson and they can add some
Right,
colorful.
because this
from
past one
skateboarding.
they used Sheckler and
Which
Amelia.
is great. It's a step up for sure.
big time.
skaters.
Yes.
For sure.
So
Who did you do it with?
I did it with, so I was the color guy at that Olympics. So the play-by-play guy is an NBC announcer, Todd Harris. He's not a skateboarder, but he's so good at what he does. It is mind-blowing.
How so?
He can,
He's not a skateboarder. How is he announcing skateboarding?
he's not announcing skateboarding.
Okay.
He's just getting us through the show and setting up his co-host with the questions, and he knows where the line is. He doesn't try to talk out of line. He knows who the skaters are. He's learned. He knows the format. He doesn't try to
Call out a trick.
Or opinion on something, right?
right.
Yeah.
And he's so good at announcing.
I can respect that.
Coming in from the commercial, he gets you right into the contest, lets you know who's in the lead, what the scores are, what so and so needs, and he's like reading it like Rain Man, because that scoreboard can be crazy. And I'm just like, I don't know how you do it, but props. So he's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So even you don't always have to have skateboarders as long as they stay in their lane.
Right.
But you need a skateboarder in there for
1000%.
sure.
Right.
You need a skateboarder.
And so how did you feel about that thing? And where was your feed broadcast?
Man.
Because nobody...
I know. Well, it was on NBC, but they would just cut in. It was one of those things, cut in, cut out. Hey, we're at canoeing, and we're going to send it down to the street finals, and it'll be like, Nigel's on his third try. He needs an 8.2, and he tries a trick and bails, and then they're like, and back to canoeing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where what I was doing went to. And I mean, I got to admit, I was so prepared for that. It was insane. There were 80 skaters there. I knew every one of them, what their history was, what they were good at, what they weren't. I mean, I worked at it, and I feel like it was at their detriment that they were using some other random feed to the internet. They're like, who watches the internet, I guess? When it's like everyone is watching the internet, and they're getting this whack feed, and then the people that are trying to do the good work are on NBC, and it's just going to nowhere. It's weird.
The feed I was watching too, like they would cut to commercials. There was like, I think we counted, I think there was like 80 commercials or something during the finals. It was like, they would just cut to commercial. They'd cut back and like Nigel would be rolling away from something. Or, just like, dude, what? This is crazy.
Was that the last one? Or
This was,
first one?
well, yes, too. The feed I was watching for the last one had that too. And there was literally 80 commercials. So the feeds on the internet are very obviously money talks, right?
Yeah.
Tricks don't. Nobody gives a fuck about the tricks.
Right.
Like they care about the money. They care about the people
They're not even
advertising.
respecting skateboarding.
No, that's the most frustrating part about the whole thing
Yeah.
with the Olympics.
I mean, I'm on the fence because yeah, like you're saying, Gustavo's talking about, it's probably raised the awareness of skateboarding in Portugal. People take it more seriously now. Guess what? The government sees, hey, we've got an Olympic possible gold medalist right here. Let's build him a skate park.
Yep.
And then you get these skate parks and stuff. But Did
you watch his episode already? That was insanely perfect.
I heard. I'm starting to think free public skate parks aren't the best thing in the world. I mean, I say that selfishly because I opened a skate park, right? But I'm like, man, there's no upkeep. You get one crack at it. City hires the wrong company to build it. You already know. They built the wrong park. Guess what? Here's your park for the rest of eternity. We're not going to update it. We're not going to like add little things here and there. We're not going to tear it down for the pro contest and rebuild anything ever. No music's playing. Bathrooms are locked or filthy. I'm like, is that fun? Nah. I mean, it can be. Of course it can be. But man, nothing beats an indoor.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So.
Are we transitioning into Spark? But it's,
Whoa, dude, wait. Sprak.
Sorry.
Come on, dude.
You were close.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's brand new. It's supposed to be, we haven't seen too much of it.
Yeah.
No, but could we stick with the Olympics for a little bit, though?
Yeah.
Because, again, I think that from your perspective, being in there and seeing do you think it has helped skateboarding?
I haven't seen it. I think it has helped it in that way that Gustavo so eloquently just mentioned. That's it. I don't see maybe in other countries there's new skaters. I don't see them. Where I live, I don't see new skaters because of the Olympics. I haven't seen that.
Right.
Have you?
No.
Are they out here?
It's hard over here because there's a skate park on every corner, like a Starbucks.
There's an abundance of skateboarders.
I don't know. I'm not seeing the local park just filled with skaters because there's a lot of parks. I mean, it's being dispersed, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
All we could say was how the industry's doing. And we have had Don Brown on the show. We've talked about the ups and downs of the industry. And Don Brown said that there's a kind of a 10-year flow. Every 10 years, there's a huge dip, and skateboarding takes a massive shit, and then it kind of creeps back up a little bit, and we're in the bottom of that shit right now. So we've had 2 Olympics. How come skateboarding is still in the shitter?
Yeah.
Like, where's all the revenue? How come skateboarding's not thriving, right? So that's maybe the only thing I have to go off of.
Right.
Is the state of skateboarding and companies. So
we're kind of saying the Olympics didn't help, but then skateboarding has a lot of other problems.
Please go on.
There's no way.
Please go on.
Come on.
Where do we begin?
On.
What are some problems? Take it away.
Okay. Too many board companies. Too many board companies.
Yeah.
Taking all the market share from every skateboard company out there. The skateboard, there's so many skateboard companies that the DIY skateboard companies taking shares from the other DIY skateboard company.
Right. And
yes.
And the industry, in my opinion, like the industry's always played a pretty big role in like where skateboarding is going. The industry has been murdered. It's dead. There is no industry in some ways. I mean, I'm exaggerating. So it's like, who's pointing skateboarding in any direction? Who's helping it get where maybe we think it should go?
But who are we also?
We're the gatekeepers.
Here's another problem, and it goes along with what you're saying right now. Trade shows. Get the industry getting together
we need
talking,
more of that.
Yes.
and planning, and what's best for everybody. There's none of that.
There's none of that.
It's missing that big time. The trade shows were tremendously helpful.
Yeah.
Just because everybody can get an understanding of how's it going for you, how's it going for you guys over there. Like what can we do
what's
to like
working,
kind of
what's not working.
Help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there needs to be some sort of kumbaya where we can kind of come back to that to some degree.
We talk about this at Skatepark of Tampa a lot. Like we kind of claim that like Tampa Am and Tampa Pro are like some of the last great traditions in skateboarding.
Yep.
So we always try to encourage everybody. Like, hey, you might not have like a need to be there, but try to show up. Just show up. Anytime industry people are there and they bring the team out and all that, it's like, hey, you're helping something thrive that needs to continue.
For sure.
Because like we saw what happened with the magazines, right? Other than Thrasher, magazines came and went because it's like too hard to get, I'm assuming too hard to get advertising dollars. Because once the internet came around, it's like, we don't need to pay anybody. We'll advertise for free on Instagram forever. It's like, okay, that's good short term. Long term though, when all the magazines are gone and everyone can advertise on Instagram free forever,
Yeah.
got problems now. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Does that make sense?
Instagram did have a
does.
huge part in the skateboard because I mean, when Instagram first came out, I mean, I even saw Skating for Chocolate, like tours kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need to. Anybody could reach out and touch you,
Yeah.
so to speak, like just send you a message. Also, why do we need to go out a tour over here? Because just give us your Instagram clip and we could reach them anyway.
Right.
It took a
Yeah.
little while to develop like what it turned into. I think that first 2 or 3 years, it was still kind of becoming what it became now. But yes, 1,000% kind of fucked up the game for obviously.
Yeah.
What's the fix?
Instant gratification.
What can we do?
That's a good question. I think that's the question that everyone's marveling
question
right
for the
now.
ages.
I like going to those events, dude. Like Tampa, there's not a lot of bigger events like that anymore. There's street leagues, those are big, but Tampa's the only one. I'm luckily, thank you for always having me there, but it's like that's the only time of the year you really get together with any other company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For one place.
True.
So if there was, like you said, trade shows or contests to get together, that would be it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a fix, I think you nailed it. Like there's a lot of problems, right? And I don't know if, and here's the thing though, is like when, the kids are always going to like kind of win, like they're kind of in charge of like what's happening in
You're right.
the real estate of skateboarding, like when I ask you like, who are we? Like, we have a podcast. We are old skaters. Like
Yeah.
we have an era that we love and hold dear to our hearts. And as every skater's, like their era is the best era. So it's like I want to uphold my era and what came from that, and instill that in the kids and like where skateboarding came from. Some kids
Straight
don't
up.
care. Like, so I don't know. It's hard to.
I don't even think like, I mean, the kids definitely dictate, but it's impressive now for like the older generation how much they still support skateboarding. Like when we put out old school shoes or something, there are people like, yeah, I love those shoes.
Yeah,
we want
okay.
those.
Right.
And it's cool to see like anyone my age, your guys' age, whatever, still buying.
So you're putting
For
out
sure.
the old school shoes, but are those guys that are buying those old school shoes buying Americas or S on a regular basis to support America or S or
Like,
something?
yeah, there's like loyal ones for
yeah.
sure.
I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, obviously, of Nike, just
I think it's also sorry.
no. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think there's two different sides to skateboarding. There's the shoe side, which is completely crazy in itself, and then there's like the board side.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
there's the clothing side, which almost doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
there's like hardly
Right.
any skateboard clothing companies. So when we were growing up, we had more options.
We did.
to make money.
We
you
did.
know?
There was more happening.
Yeah.
There was
That
more.
skateboarders have more control over.
They did, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not that
there
we
is no
don't.
control. Nobody has control.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, the control is more diffuse. It's everywhere. Like you used to probably. You were stupid not to live in California if you're trying to be a pro skateboarder. Now it's like it doesn't matter.
You can live anywhere.
You probably shouldn't live out here. You should move to Malmo. Which is insane, right? To think about.
Yeah, but I mean, like looking at Tampa, just like the sponsorship money that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
There were just banners everywhere.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like insane, and now it's like very scarce. Sorry to say, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's
yeah.
the whole industry. It's
the
like
whole industry.
everybody's scarce.
Well, everyone's trying to like hold on to their money and figure out what's the best way to spend it. Back then, I feel like everyone just had money to let's
Yeah.
let's
That's when it was thriving.
Oh
Yeah.
man, DVS had RVs.
DVS was there
and-
for what,
and-
5 years at least, right?
Yeah.
They sponsored the lead sponsor. Yeah, dude, that's when
How many
things-
times
things are
did you
going.
skate Tampa Pro?
Probably twice,
Okay.
maybe 3 times. I think twice though.
Chris?
Never. I went to Tampa AM. I got hurt on the flat bar. I was skating in the flat bar, bank to flat. Somebody else came and they say, while I was on the bar, tried to ollie up on the bar.
Yeah.
Like it's the AM shit's psycho.
It was more psycho back then.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think I missed a backside flip over the pyramid. I just walked off. I don't like all eyes on me. Even if I'm at a skate spot, I just like skating with my friends.
What about on the podcast? All eyes on you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. And got my tricks playing in the back.
That must
No,
be,
but you know what I mean. Like I'm not that type of skater.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's funny, but I don't like
Yeah.
being the center on a skateboard.
I'm the same. I never liked it either.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite thing.
What,
I don't
being
know,
in the
I-
center, you're like literally the main dude when you talk, like on
No,
broadcast.
It's so different, though,
It's
right?
so
It's
different.
different.
It's because that's not about me. It's 100% about what you're seeing.
But like you don't. But you've gotten what you do is so hard to do. Just because we're on a podcast, people think, "Oh, hey, we want you to do this. Read these lines."
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
Yeah. No, that is hard to do. I still don't necessarily. That doesn't mean I like all eyes on me. I'm not like, hey, give me more screen time. Come on, makeup. Nah, nope, no.
I heard you do like red Skittles in your dressing room. Is that true?
No, that's Sinclair.
Oh, true. He likes
No.
runts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll see what happens, right? I think the
We
skateboard
will.
industry in itself needs to be together somehow, you know?
Yeah.
They need to have more kind of maybe meeting of the minds and stuff like that. But
Like
again,
a-
I think that's different. You know, there's the shoe market and there's a board market and I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I think the only answer is for people to show up. You got to show up. We got to get the 9 Club to Tampa.
Right.
We need to get everybody there. You guys need to do the 9 Club Cup every year, whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, so that's what we're gonna call it?
Events.
Events.
Yeah. We're still
Something.
working. We're still working
Still
on a name.
something.
We're still
You must
working
be
on a name.
listening in on us a lot recently. Did you, Gustav?
There's a microphone. Yeah. It's got planted a bug.
Like, what's
Dubs.
going
We gotta
on
get one of
here,
those
dude?
things that can, they got bugs over here, bro.
How do
We
you
gotta
know all this stuff?
need to
He knows a lot of people. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, but we are hosting an event August 2nd, but we still don't have a name. But our event is not a contest, right? It started off as a contest. We're still gonna have like an outledge thing and in the stage and stuff like that, like the spectacles, right? Have the dopest skaters skating those, but it's more about the community. It's more about playing skate in the fountain.
Yeah.
People coming together and like more of just like hey, let's all get together.
For sure.
That's what our event is.
That's happening at the courthouse?
the Westlake Courthouse.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still working out all the details, but it's like, kids skating the ledges. Like, here's a board, here's a this, like, let's just get together. Let's have a great time.
We
Let's
need more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like contests are cool, but it's our vibe is more community,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. You're
Right.
invited, bro. You got to come down.
You gotta
and
announce it.
You got to
dude.
announce it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're doing a
okay.
live feed on Instagram Live.
What day is it?
No, August 2nd.
August 2nd. I am busy.
Damn. What do you got? What do you got?
We're doing a Damn Am in Buffalo.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Food court skate park.
That's right.
Food court. Have you seen that one? It's pretty sick. It's in it's not an abandoned mall. It's in a dead mall. One of those malls that
yeah.
nothing's happening. There's like a thrift store or something in
Amazing.
it.
Yeah.
And so they built this dude Weldon built a skate park in the food court.
That's sick.
And it looks sick. I haven't been there yet, but we're going. So Damn Am, same weekend as your event.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
Food Court Skate Park grand opening.
I just met Weldon a few months ago. He's a great dude.
Yeah. Yep. He's doing it. I mean, he's all in.
There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think just community,
Community.
right?
Yeah.
That's a big part of the skateboarding, and I think
Indeed. I mean, that's what's fun. That's why we skateboard.
Yeah.
We don't do it just to do tricks. Actually, I love this. This was a quote Andrew Reynolds said one time, but he said Lizard King told him this. He said, Lizard King said that skateboarding is just about showing off for your friends. And I'm like, it's kind of true. We're just hey, did you guys saw that, right?
yeah.
Look at that.
Check me out, dude.
Oh, I heard them clap for me. Yeah, yeah,
And it's true.
right. See, I got everything there. The skater, skateboarding, scootering. Looks like an amazing course.
It really does.
Right.
God, dang.
It's wide
Super
open.
fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So we'll be there while you guys
Okay.
are doing it. Is Kelly, can you come to this or you got to be at.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
might
whoa,
have to
whoa!
be at
Stop
the-
trying to recruit. We got to.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming to our event, okay?
I am thankful. But I am going to Houston.
That's next week.
yeah.
Wait, when does this come out? When are we going to see this?
Do you want to see?
Oh, yeah.
you
This will
wanna
probably
date?
be
June?
out after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a thing right here.
So
I got a calendar.
If you're watching this, check out the Spotlight edits starring Kelly of.
Dude,
Grand
you're
Man Houston.
so fun to do that with because it's
This will be out June.
always first try and it's random as fuck and it's like, cool, that's it.
June
Kinda.
16th. June 16th. This will be out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be out.
Oh, okay.
before.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
How's the Damn Am stuff going?
Good. I mean, we haven't done one yet. We've got 3 lined up. It's Houston, South Side Houston, and then it's Food Court, and then Sprak.
Yeah.
I like Spark better. I like Spark. You maybe want to change
Yeah.
the name.
I like Sprak, but Sprak has roots.
What
are
is
the roots?
Sprak?
What
What
are
is
the
why?
roots?
Why'd you call it
Yeah.
Sprak?
Well, let's tell the people at home and listening what's up with what is Sprak.
It's a brand new indoor skate park that I started with partners, including Brian Schaefer from Skatepark of Tampa. He's a partner in the park.
Love that.
Yeah. So it's in Louisville, Kentucky, where I live.
You grew up there?
No, I grew up in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I ended up my kid's mom is from Louisville. We ended up once we had kids moved to Louisville. I
Okay.
love it there. It's a great city. So I've been there for 20 years. My son's 20 now. I'm there.
Wow.
It's insane. He skates too.
Oh, cool.
Amazing.
Archer, keep ripping.
There you go. There you go.
I'm doing it.
Listen to your dad.
Yeah. So skate. Yeah. We're coming up on a year anniversary.
It's already been a year.
It's already been a
dude?
year.
I feel like I just saw Instagram posts of it yesterday about it.
Time
Opening.
flies.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. We were before the show. We were talking about how hard it is to keep indoors going, right?
Yeah.
I think we've set ourselves up for success in that we bought the property straight up.
That's a great start.
It's
yeah.
affordable there. Rent is, or the mortgage is relatively low, and there's renters on the property paying, So it's like
Okay.
we don't have to have 50 kids in there every day paying to skate to keep it going.
Okay.
Now, that helps. But also, Louisville has terrible winters. Not as bad as Milwaukee, not even close, but they're still bad. When you're in the middle of it, you don't want to go outside. You want to be inside where it's lit up.
Yeah.
And so winter business was great. Summer business has dropped off a lot, but I'm not worried because we've got events planned and we're going to be doing all this stuff. It's definitely going to be a slow build, but I want to do all the contests. I mean, Tampa Pro works. Why not Louisville Pro?
Yeah.
What's
Louisville
next?
Pro-
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There
a
you
new
go.
stop. There's a new stop in
Yeah,
town.
and the park's sick. I mean, it's good. Roll tape.
Roll tape. We got it
actually,
right here.
Was that the same mentality you had at Skatepark of Tampa? Like you buy the property and then build on that?
They didn't do that at first. No, he rented it for a decade and then he bought it.
Okay.
So, but obviously that's the right way to go.
Definitely.
So, just so you know,
Let's
at
go.
that.
Oh,
the
wait, sorry.
roofs are in rough shape there. But
I definitely want to see this. Real
that's Chris
quick,
Blake. You
though.
guys know Chris Blake. We're
Oh.
trying to get him to turn pro ASAP.
Who's he going to turn pro for?
Stereo, hook it up, Pastors. Make it happen.
So this is the property right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the skate park, and then you got other people that obviously
Yep.
they got their little thing going
Yep,
on
yep,
on the
yep,
right
yep.
side there. Okay. Amazing. I love that.
So wait, was that other aspect of the property that was already built in when you bought it? So that
Everything was there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay.
So it came with some people renting that whole back section. But I mean, in a perfect world, if you're watching this, I'm not kicking you out. Don't get worried. But if someday they moved out and things were headed in the right direction, I mean, I'd like to do just like at Tampa, you have the main course, you have a kiddie course, you
Yeah,
have a bowl, you have a mini ramp, you have the cement, I want to do all that if I can get there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll see.
In due
There's
time,
ample
listen.
space,
You got to
sure.
start somewhere, right? You got to make
Yeah.
it happen.
Shout out to Alex Hancock. We saw he's hometown legend. Okay, we got a 40-foot wide mini ramp. It's so good. Oh, there's
you
the
just turned
schedule
into announcer mode right here. Right? 40-foot wide. Everybody's here. Everybody's happy. Everybody's fed. We're gonna have a great time today.
There's me.
There's a little skate shop.
What I was gonna say, when you did mention, we were talking before the show about indoor parks not lasting. It's hard because you have to like pay rent, and then you have to have kids skating there.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true for everybody. We named off a lot of parks that are indoor.
Yeah.
That, you know, Cream City,
Four Seasons,
Familia,
Third Layer.
There's a lot of parks out there.
Yeah.
So it does work.
It can work. It can
but
work.
We've seen a lot of them not.
Yeah.
It just eventually kind of fizzle out.
So, as we were talking about, places where they have winter, it's almost mandatory. It's not. I mean, but then there's a couple parks in Florida still. Like, is Graffiti Skate Zone, or did that on Ramp 48? One of them's still there. One of them's not. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah, you got to work at it.
Yeah.
But like I said, we set it up to be successful, and we're going to try to do it all. And I definitely have. Obviously, I have a lot of connections in the industry that can help. Bring events there, get the sponsorships, all that stuff. The history with Skatepark of Tampa, and also the tie-in. That's all going to play into it.
With Schaefer
There's still no
everybody, yeah.
guarantee. But the one thing you hear so often from parks that went out of business, like what happened? The landlord raised the rent.
Right.
They doubled the rent. We're
yes.
out. That's it. I've heard it so many times. I'm like, well, that's what puts skate parks out of business.
So you'd have to raise the rent on yourself.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah. So
Zitzer raised the rent. It's crazy. I guess he wants us to close. This is not working.
this park is so fun. I mean, it's
And
designed to be
It's
looks-
really wide open.
Yeah.
Super clean.
I like
good
that-
obstacles. Yeah.
Sorry, Kelly.
DJ Wade.
I was going to say you set it up like Skatepark of Tampa.
Exactly.
You
I
have
mean, that's the model. Yeah.
The model's there.
What's the square footage?
That main building is 13,000 square feet. And then like back there's that little garage thing. That's 1,500 square feet. That's just so prime for a bowl or another mini ramp or even a little kiddie course. But
What's
yeah,
you said 13,000. What's
Yeah.
Skatepark of Tampa? Do we know?
The comparison.
it's similar. It's Skatepark of Tampa is a square building they have half of it kind of offices.
Yeah.
This is more long and
Okay.
narrow. So this building's narrower than Spot by like 30 feet, but it's probably like 30 or 40 feet longer. So
Okay.
it's just like
So it's comparable to the
Yeah.
size.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
okay.
but Skatepark of Tampa has all their like the back buildings built out and all that. Mine are just empty right now.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
take some
Look
time.
at that. It's beautiful, man. You guys did a great job.
Fake tree?
Love
I
it.
see Monster in
We
there.
did put the fake tree in. Shout out to Eric Switzer, the resident tree builder, and Matt McDowell. Those dudes killed it. They helped so much. You know what was awesome? I didn't start this skate park to make money. Period. I started it to like add something to my life. And when the word started to get out that I was doing this, so many people reached out. Hey, what can I do? Hey, I'm a welder. Hey, I'm in the door business. Hey, I do HVAC. What can I do? Can I help? Can I paint? Can I build something? It was so fun. It was like it took 10 months from getting the keys to opening the park. I mean, insane
That's
months
amazing,
of
bro.
work, like insanity. I feel like I aged like a decade, but it's been so rewarding.
How was the ground
awesome,
when you
man.
first got? Did you have to do anything to the ground?
Yeah, well, there were huge cracks some of them were offset. Most of them, they were all repaired to some degree. There's still work to be done.
Okay.
But there's like some sections where it's like, hey, it's rough here, but it's like, okay, whatever.
Right.
It's not like super buttery ground, but I've never heard any complaints. So
Wow.
Anyway, that's Sprak. Sprak.
Okay.
So one of my great friends, John McGuire, Milwaukee original, one of the most funny, creative, interesting people I know. He was such a big influence on the scene in Milwaukee when I was growing up. And he was one of these guys that he just had something to say funny about everything. He would refer to skateboarding as spracking. Like, let's go Sprak. Or, oh, dude, Sprak that double set first try. Whatever. Just sort of like interchangeable with, you just use it wherever it fits.
Right.
So we've been saying Sprak for like 30 years. I thought I had a list of 700 names, and it's like, man, I'm just going to do something super unique. And that if you search for Sprak, you're going to find us. You're not going to have you'll maybe find like a Dutch dictionary entry. It's like to speak in Dutch.
Well, I always think
Sprak.
I think when I think of Sprak, like when I drink something caffeine and I'm like all spracked out.
You get spracked for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's what I always think
I
of.
feel like I feel like Sprak was the Grand Theft Auto equivalent of Sprite. Wasn't that the?
I haven't heard that.
That was the name of
That'd be
it.
the
Yes,
first.
in Grand
I
Theft
hope
Auto
so.
they named it
Wow.
as Sprite, the Sprak.
That
I
might
think.
be. Let's
I think.
find it.
Yeah, if
That's
you can,
Wow.
is it Spark or Sprak?
'Cause
No,
I
it
wanna-
might be Spark.
It might be Spark.
I want to
yeah.
make like Sprak coffee and Sprak
You
beer
should.
and
Yeah,
Sprak
yeah.
cola.
Dude, make a
and-
brewery, dude.
Dude,
That could have-
we got our beer license too.
It looks like a fucking
It's called
brewery.
Sprunk.
Sprunk.
My bad.
Dude,
Sprunk.
Sprunk would be a
Close.
sick park too.
Close. Let's go to Sprunk.
We're right across the river from Indiana. They
I
can put a
thought it
Sprunk
was
over
Sprak.
there.
Okay, it's a
Yeah.
Sprunk. That's not bad though. So it's been open a year.
Yeah, coming up
Damn.
on a year.
Wow.
So it's
Congrats.
been great. It's been so awesome. I love going there.
How many? Here's a question though.
Yeah.
So how big is the scene out there?
Well,
Is it a big skate scene?
no.
Do they have other skate parks? What's going on out there? Let
Yeah,
us know.
good questions. Louisville has the famous downtown park, right? The Dave Armstrong Extreme Park
Used
is
to be
what it's
the
called.
biggest
with
skate
the full
park in
pipe.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting edge. They were one of the first cities in the country to spend millions and build a big outdoor cement park. The reason was that mayor, Dave Armstrong, I guess his kid or his nephew or someone was a skateboarder and was like, hey, mayor, we don't have anything. Boom, he was fully backing it. And they wanted to get the X Games to come to Louisville.
Okay.
They did get some of like those side shoot contests to come there, and then actually, like I said, the Do Tour went there a couple of years, so whatever, it kind of worked. So there's that park there that's been there forever. It's haggard.
I feel like
it's rough. It's
weathered.
You've been there.
I've been there
Were you
on
there
the
with?
audio tour.
You were there with Bam when he broke his shoulder.
Bam, he hit his head.
Hit his off
Yeah,
to
so
the
he
hospital.
was doing the off to the hospital.
Yeah.
It was an audio tour.
I was
Yeah.
at the skate park when you guys got there.
Really?
And then people were like, Bam's here. And then they're like, Bam just left in the ambulance. It's like, wait, what? It
Yeah.
would happen
Oh, I
like-
remember I signed your shirt. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yes.
right. No,
yeah.
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 Here it is right here.
Yeah,
This is the
okay.
biggest. But you know what? Yeah, we did a demo there, and then Bam had. But look at everything's crazy.
I
Like,
remember this park.
That's a big.
But so this footage right here is probably a 5-6 years old because now the place is covered in graffiti. You can't even see any of that stuff. It's just like, no
way.
I mean, that was tip of the iceberg right there.
Okay, so they got this park.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No,
There's-
you're fine.
There's this park, and then there's one right across the river in Indiana. That's a pretty good park people like. And then there's some little fun parks around too. I bet there's 5 or 6 small parks within 30 minutes.
All outdoor?
All outdoor. Yeah.
And so so the skate scene there is a good, solid.
It's solid and tight, but it's not huge by any stretch. But I'm close to within like 90 miles of Cincinnati, Indianapolis, relatively close to St. Louis, Nashville to the south, Lexington, Kentucky, even like Toledo and Cleveland, and people come
you're at
from
this, like-
so far away. Dayton, yeah, people come from so far consistently. It's been awesome to see that.
That's
What
dope.
about skate shops in the area? Like, I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
a scene of.
There's one
One? Okay.
legendary skate shop, Home Skate Shop. Shout out to
Home?
Tom Horning. It was his shop. You know Tom Horning?
I
Do you
know them.
remember
Yeah,
him?
I know. Yeah,
Scarecrow
yeah.
Pro, Louisville legend. So Home's been there for 25 years maybe. Noah, the current owner, is Tom's nephew. So keeping it in the family,
Oh,
and that
love that.
shop's
Okay.
that shop's great. Props to them. We work with them. We partner on stuff. We decided from the get go like we're going to be a team versus like competitors.
Well, because I did see that you had a skate shop in there too,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to think because like also the brick and mortar skate shops obviously we know is
tricky.
tough, right?
Yeah.
It's tricky. You need to
Yeah.
really have community
Yeah.
based to survive. I feel like,
Yeah.
and I feel like a skate park is kind of the perfect, like you said, everybody comes around from everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like you could create this like hub of like, you know,
Do you feel like
we're going to go there and
That's-
skate, and
that's the goal.
we're going to eat there, and we're going to bathe there, and we're going to
Yeah.
we're going to we're
It's
going
the meetup spot.
We're gonna meet up. We're gonna hang out there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's got to be like more like a winter. Like not. Do you find like a way more people are coming in the winter?
Yeah, 100%. There's 10 times more people coming in the winter.
But still, you could still make it a destination in the summertime. Like, you know, I don't know how are the summers out there? Brutal, hot.
They can be
humid?
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love it. I want to be sweating. I don't mind. But yeah, I aim to make it a destination,
Yeah.
and it starts. I mean, it's already started, and we're gonna keep it going. Here I am on the 9 Club talking about Sprak.
Oh, we're gonna cut all this out. Don't worry.
So everybody in the area should make it a point to come skate.
Yes,
Definitely.
That's it.
I
Just
love
support it. It's a thing that's happening, and it's fun.
If it's an hour and a half out, like that's not even nothing to go to like a
Right.
good skate spot, especially in the winter. You know what I mean?
Dubs.
Yeah.
It
Why
takes
not?
me an hour to get to Hollywood sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
about 4 miles from it.
That's
you
where
know
you
what I
got
mean?
traffic,
So
that's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. We got to come out there. We got to make a trip out there
Yeah,
for the
dude.
Sprak Open.
Yeah. Well, we're doing an event. We're calling it the Louisville Classic. It's more of a regional type thing. So that's
Courthouse Classic.
June 7th.
Now we're gonna name ours a Courthouse
Yeah,
Classic.
that's a good idea.
Didn't even think of that.
We've been
one.
thinking. We were trying to come up with these names for. We can't.
Bro. Coming up with
Courthouse
a name
Classic.
is not easy for anything.
No, the harder you try, the worse it gets.
It's straight up, dude. This is where we're at right now.
Very
dude.
true.
We need
Yeah.
help.
That's why
Yeah.
we're going with the
Courthouse Classic.
Courthouse Classic.
I could have sworn we said that before.
I don't think that's come up. I don't know how that hasn't come up. It's kind of funny, but
Either way.
That can work.
Anything.
Let's just go with that.
I mean, just funny because like every contest name has been taken
Yeah.
at 5 times or less
Yeah.
or more even. Okay. Oh look, here we go. Boom. The first annual.
Oh, but this is June 7th. So this is already going to be in the past.
It's
when
already
we-
in the past.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
Can we
fine.
still show it? Because that's a
Yeah,
dope flyer.
no,
Matt,
it's dope.
Matt McDowell drew that. He's the
Shout out to man. It looks like again like a freestyle contest there, right?
Yeah, well, no,
Oh.
no, it's a contest, but we're just giving it a vibe that it's like something from the 70s.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
an old
yeah,
school
yeah.
vibe.
But it's
for
not.
sure.
We're not actually freestyling and stuff.
I was just
Just a
joking.
kind of old school throwback.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
it like just like classic run style type of
Yeah.
contest?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So anyway, that'll be fun. We're
Yeah.
gonna do a best trick contest. We're gonna build a custom rail across and down the pyramid. So kids just show up, have something new to skate, and we're gonna do a game of skate.
I love
Sick.
it. I love it.
So anyway, it's
So-
fun. It's cool to do that stuff. People turn up.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is obviously before this airs. Who won? Oh no, we don't.
Roll tape.
Oh yeah, roll tape.
Okay.
JC, you can't find it.
All right.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So you're pumped.
I'm
I can't
pumped.
believe it's been a year.
I know.
That's fucking crazy.
It's been tough. I mean, it's just been such a hectic year, man. I've been everywhere
Yeah.
and trying to kind of manage this park. Although I have great partners. Besides Brian Schaefer, I have a handful of partners. Shout out to Thad and Liz who really hold it down while I'm off doing stuff like this.
Okay.
And they love it and they're super active and engaged and it just makes it possible. I'm not doing it on my own.
Was there any? Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, is
go
there
ahead.
any? Is there any question? Like, or I'm sorry. Is there anything different, like that you going on with Sprak that like happened with like Tampa? Like, is there like, oh, I thought this was to be exactly the same, but Sprak is way different because of certain reasons.
Well, no, they're very different. I think the main thing is that Skatepark of Tampa, first of all, there's 30 skate parks within 2 minutes of Skatepark of Tampa.
right.
Their business revolves around Tampa Pro and AM and the online sales they generate from the traffic.
Right.
So that's totally different than what I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll say this though. What's been kind of surprising to me, the most surprising thing about this has been how few young kids there are that are skating in my area. It's nuts.
Really?
It's all older.
They're all there, dude. They're more my age. Hey, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know this. Today's my birthday. So
No way!
celebrating
Birthday,
it here on the
bro.
9 Club. Yeah.
Nice, dude.
And I'm 53.
How did we not know this?
I don't know.
Happy
Your
birthday.
Kelly, do we have
research department
give him a
dropped the
Cliff
ball.
Bar or something.
You want some goldfish?
Yeah,
If we would have known, you know, Roger
Raj
would have
gotten
a cupcake or
Oh
something.
yeah, we would have. We didn't know that.
I
Happy
know, well,
birthday!
thanks.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm
we do
stoked.
have some gifts for you though.
I'll
we
take
give
them.
them to everybody.
Okay,
but,
yeah. I'll take.
It'll be special.
No, I'm celebrating my birthday here with you guys, so
Amazing.
I'm stoked.
So
Yeah,
sick,
dude.
dude.
Thank you.
Oh,
But
we're-
so there's more 53-year-olds skating Sprak than there are like 15-year-olds. How
Now,
about that?
why? How
with
can and perfect question right there that we've been talking about this whole episode is like where are the young kids? Why aren't the
Yeah.
young kids picking up skateboards?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
How
there's-
can Sprak make the young kids pick up boards? in the
I'm
area?
I'm trying. I'm doing camps and lessons and all that stuff.
Okay.
Got some great dudes
That helps.
teaching them. Noah and Alex, thank you. That helps. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just it's just one thing I noticed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
No,
I think
do you feel like that same thing going on at Skatepark of Tampa?
I don't know. I mean, I'm typically only there for big events, so I don't see that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there day to day.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a lot of things that people or kids can choose to do now rather than just skateboarding or something. I mean, we had like rollerblades and skateboarding, but now it's like scooters, the motorized bikes, and
Everything.
all these
Yeah, there's a
different
lot.
things. You know what I
Fucking
mean?
video games, like
Video
Video
games.
games, yeah.
Like, yeah. So I do think there's a lot of options now.
But skating's the best. If sometimes you forget. If you don't know, get on the board and go skate and remember.
Yeah.
Well, I love watching old videos to give me that feeling still
Yeah,
because that's
right?
kind of like
Yep.
makes
Yeah,
you
but even the
happiest.
guys that are there, it seems like if they did have kids, that they would be trying to get the kids to go.
They
skate,
are, and their
right?
kids are like,
Yeah, they're not even into
well,
it.
it's not that fun.
Right.
Skating
So
isn't that
crazy,
cool,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Skating's kind of
Well,
whack.
like your
Skating for
like
cooks.
your son. Like
Yeah, no,
he's-
Oh,
I
your
introduced
son.
it to him, and like he rides a scooter,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be like, dude. I mean, I tell him like, dude, the scooters are whack.
Wait, how old is he?
You should tell you.
I tell him for sure. 9 years old, he's about to be 10.
that scooter's budget.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with him. Like, I'm gonna tell him like how I feel as a
That's how it
skateboarder.
is, Dubs.
You know?
But there's a
But if he
difference.
likes
It's
it,
just
he
a
likes
fun
it.
thing. It's a
Totally.
toy. Like skateboarding can be a toy.
It was a
or
toy at
then it
one
becomes
point.
our
Yeah.
lives.
Totally.
So hopefully scootering doesn't become his life, but he switches over
I
to
don't
skateboarding.
think, I don't think that would be the case.
Yeah.
I think he likes it in the moment, like going to the skate park, and it's easy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
hard. Riding a skateboard is fucking hard, especially in the
Yeah.
beginning.
And you gotta pay in pain.
Yes.
That's the other thing. I can't tell you how many people have
So
showed
true.
up there. Like every like delivery guy's got like a shipment of like metal pipe or like a refrigerator or something. He's like, I didn't know this was here. I used to skate. And then they all have a little story about how they twisted their ankle, hit their head, broke their elbow, their wrist, whatever.
And stopped skating.
And stopped.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, we all did that a million times, but we liked it
Yeah.
enough to keep doing it.
What about kids entering Tampa Am? Do you feel like there's like a more or less people entering this contest? Because
There are hands down. I've seen the stats. There's less people showing up at all events everywhere.
Wow.
like skateboarding.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actually
Skate contests. Skate contests.
I'm talking about like people entering.
Yeah. No, exactly. Less
Okay.
people entering, but I think I have a theory, and it's not a lot less, but it's noticeable in that I think the level is so high that it's a turnoff to people who are
Dude,
just
I
mere
see that.
mortals.
I have
see
said, I've said that, like, when I'm watching, when I grew up skating and I'm watching these guys skate
Yeah.
street, it was like, oh, I could probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a little kid watching Nyjah Houston backtailing a 30 stair handrail,
Yeah.
is that appealing to me? Is that appealing where like, you know what, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore, but to me, it just seems like the level's so high
psycho.
that are the kids not attracted to it because of the level?
Because like you can't relate to it.
You can't relate.
Yeah.
How are you going to relate to a backflip down El Toro? I mean, we were seeing it too, but also there was like a plethora of like
It was one person doing it.
Yeah, Heath Kirchart, right?
Yeah.
Or whoever it was.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Jamie.
Jamie.
No,
Jamie
it was
Thomas.
Carlos.
De Andrade?
No, what was the dude's name? I forget. I'm brain farted. Anyway, he backflipped El Toro.
Oh,
No, it was blind.
blind kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos Ruiz.
Oh yeah,
Carlos
yeah,
Ruiz,
yeah, that's
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, he also,
Where is that dude?
yeah. Where is he? He switched 50 that hubba too.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah. Yeah, there's a little documentary on him on the internet somewhere.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be a very good point.
Yeah.
Is like, I don't know if I'd be attracted to skateboarding if it was Evil Knievel type shit.
Right.
Like I watch Evil Knievel like jump over the cars, but I don't want to go do that shit.
No, but it's also like when you're like I guess you're saying all this like when you're watching everyone do that.
Yeah.
Then you're like,
yeah.
where do I even start?
Hey, you know where the best example? I mean, you were there. Damn Am Japan.
Oh yeah,
It
rhymes.
was. It does, but it was insane.
Yeah.
It's like every kid there
It's good.
could win Tampa Am. Every single one of them. Little kids, like with diapers on. You're like, what? He could do everything.
Yeah.
That was fun
already.
to watch actually, and then all those kids are doing the thing right now,
Yeah.
pretty
yeah.
much.
You know what I think also
train
is
different.
amazing? I'm loving the women's skateboarding.
Yeah.
Because to me, the women's skateboarding, we're watching that progression in real time.
Exactly.
We're watching that progression as we watched in the, going from the in the 90s, right? We're watching the progression go from the blind video days to Plan B questionable
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean? Like we're watching it just progress.
Exactly.
And they're out there killing it. And I feel like they're having way more fun than some of the dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're having a great time doing it.
They're ripping. Right.
Yeah.
They're breaking down the barriers. Like Rose 50-50, the Hollywood 16, and then it's like, it's on. Everybody's like, okay, now front crook it.
Front crook, cover.
Yeah.
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 Chilling.
And then Heisa backlipped it.
It's crazy.
No,
bro.
but with the progression is like even from the first Olympics to the second to the third. Every
Yeah.
contest that I
Yeah.
see or a video part from the girls is just like,
Yeah.
bro, this is so fun to watch.
It is, yeah.
So for me, that's even kind of more appealing than like a backsmith down a 50 stair rail.
Right.
I'm like, oh, kind of
Seen
seen that. I
that.
can visualize that.
Yeah.
You
You could do that.
I
too.
could. No, I can't.
No. If you really,
In a
really
V-
wanted to.
Skater XL. Yeah.
Did you ever judge contests at all?
Yeah, actually, yes. I started judging Tampa Ams and Tampa Pro. Well, yeah, it must have been Tampa Ams because I was just there, Hey, we need a judge. Okay, I'll judge. That was hard. That's a tough one.
Oh, that might be because it's just now World Skate might be the when they have 300 people showing up
Yeah,
to do
that's
all
gotta
that.
be
That's
brutal.
nuts. But Tampa Am, in the thought of it, is probably the hardest.
What's hard about it for you?
It's not necessarily. It's to be fair, it's I mean, you know this, and we always talk about everything, but it's
Yeah.
when it comes to Tampa Am, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say this: when it's the people that you want in the to move on the next round, you're more focusing on that. And you're not really worried about if that person's 123rd or 126th,
Right.
And I think that's the hardest part. And sometimes you hear parents come up like, dude, my kid did better than that kid, and he's in 70th and he's in 63rd.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, I'm super sorry, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
And you're what you're doing is you're putting people almost like in batches. You're saying that was a bad run, that was an okay run, but not getting you anywhere, etc. And then it's who cares if you're an 80th or 120th?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. I think those. So if you want to say putting that in the entire order,
Yeah.
it's hard to do. But once you get about who's going to go to the next round and that bubble spot, that's where you're always focusing on.
That's why Tampa Pro is probably the easiest, not the easiest, but
Yeah.
those select skaters are like,
I mean, when they do
They're
their
standing
thing,
out. Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Wait, you were there for Yuto versus Sora.
Just which one for what? Oh, this last one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a hard one to judge, but not really at the same time actually. Just because it was insane because you're doing tricks that aren't really never been done, but then
Sora stepped it up.
Sora stepped it up. But the thing we talked about was man, I really liked how Yuto pretty much never got off his board.
I love
Exactly.
Yeah.
The back tail around that little corner and then a front blind or just
Yeah.
throwing
This
that stuff in there.
that. As a spectator, I don't want to watch them get off their board, walk
Yeah.
across the deck, and then drop back in. I want
Right.
to see a full fluid run.
And it's really hard to do
that.
a fluid run.
yeah.
To link the tricks, to come out of a back tail and be set up for the next hard trick already, be pointed in the right direction.
Like to
not
me, I
easy.
think that should be a huge. It shouldn't just be like a trick, because anybody could, get off the board, drop in, set up. Like, but when you're flowing around, and you're doing all the hard
priceless.
tricks. Like, I think that's way more. That it deserves more points. I feel
It got good points, but then when you have someone doing tricks, they're like, dude, there's no one could even do any of that. Like the Sora, like you're like you can't even. But he had so the thing is that. Like this was kind of, which is insane. This is almost his safe run. This was his safe run, even though we remember we're judging this. We're like, well, at least we got a first place run already. Like this is it. You have to beat this, and then Sora did that.
I thought it was going to hold up. I thought it was over, which is sometimes it's not that fun if somebody's first run they win the contest and no one catches them. But
So you don't like that, the way he picked his board up right there?
how about this though?
Oh, that was insane.
I would say
Because everything else is like really good.
Yeah.
And then he just does like an NBD almost basically.
That was psycho.
I feel like at the end of it, Jerron, you asked me if that was he stepped off his board, but I almost feel like right there you kind of have to.
Right.
I'm more talking about
No, every time
walking across the deck and going to set up for some other. You're trying to get to that part of the course over here. Well, then skate to it. Don't just run all the way across the course and then
get what
drop
you're
back in,
saying. Yeah.
right?
And it's like he only did it once. So the other time, so there's some skaters that aren't that really great at skating transition, even though he is. That they'll get off the board because they can't really do the back disaster or whatever it is.
Right.
But then look, we watch Sora's. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Sora.
So it's like.
And if I'm not mistaken, was it his last trick that really solidified it?
No, he did
No?
a few of the stuff.
But yeah, what was the cab flip back lip his last trick though? Like that was pretty.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
his whole run was amazing.
I mean, that's insane too. Just that, that's a very awkward, random trick
super awkward.
that
Yeah.
super
I
hard.
think Kelly's little bite his Dodgers jersey on. That's why.
No,
Kelly's
but 180
mad,
switch
big
crook on
Dodgers
that?
fan
That was
over there.
nuts.
But 180 switch crook on that is actually psycho. And then sometimes if you do paper to paper of what trick is compared, you're like that is back's harder than nollie 270 switch back lip.
Ooh,
and then
nollie back big spin,
nollie
back
big spin
tail.
back tail. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It is subjective, and everyone can argue against it. But
But I want to see this. I want to see the last
You
trick.
can tell that Sora his runs slightly better. Even though
There he goes.
Yuto's last trick was psycho.
That is psycho.
I mean,
That's
like, yeah, so
I
it's
mean
like-
that's the cherry on the top.
yeah,
That trick to me. I don't know. It's interesting to hear from a judge's point of view. Beside, because I when it comes to this contest, I'm a spectator. I'm a fan. I'm not a. I wouldn't. I don't.
you have opinions.
I do have
definitely
opinions
does.
for sure, but I'm not there. I'm not in the judge's mind of
Yeah.
well, if I'm a judge, I would judge it. I'm
Right.
just spectating. I'm just a fan.
when it comes to Tampa, I don't think you've ever really doubted or the judges
No,
answer.
but there have been moments.
Maybe when I wasn't there.
Dude, I don't. You know what? I'm not gonna. Through the course of Tampa Ams and Tampa Pros, there's been some times where I've been like, judges, are you guys sure about this?
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I'm not gonna say which contest it was because I don't want to tarnish anybody's win. Where I was like, that shouldn't have been a win. But they were like, yeah, we're cool with this. And then as time goes by and then it settles in, they're like, yeah. We probably blew that
We
one.
messed up on this.
And I'm not claiming I'm not always claiming I'm right either. It's just an opinion, but
Right.
there have been a few over the years where I was like, no, I don't think that's not the result I would have had. But then there's probably some where I would have judged it differently, and everybody been like, "You're crazy! Shut up, you stupid vert guy." So fair.
No, but that's just that's skateboarding.
That's skateboarding,
Yeah.
right?
And
Because go ahead.
It's subjective.
Here's where I always notice it. One thing I missed the boat. The windows closed. I could never nollie flip, never switch frontside flip or backside. That's all I wanted to do. Do a good nollie flip in my life. Never. So anybody who can do a good nollie flip, I just assume they're really good. That's it. That guy's good. And people are like, he's terrible. All I can do is a nollie flip. I'm like, yeah, but it's pretty sick.
Can't do that.
Can't do it.
So what are you doing? Are you commentating currently? You're doing street league stuff, or
Doing
what do you,
street league.
Is that what you came down here for?
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
So, but
Nice.
I'm like, I mean, Malto's the color guy. I'm the host of the show.
Yep.
So, really, my job is to talk everybody through the
What
contest.
happened to Cannon?
He's like either sideline.
Oh, okay.
Or live sometimes to the house.
Okay.
So, we switch off though.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Okay.
But
Because I feel like I've seen him in the booth. I've
He
seen
has
him do
been in the
thing.
booth many times, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
How do you think Malto's doing?
great.
Yeah.
I love Malto.
He's super good.
He's very insightful. He's got a great demeanor. He's not like I'll be the spazzy, like get all crazy, and he's like very calm, which I like.
Yeah.
He can make a great point, no matter what stupid question I ask him too. Because sometimes it's like, look, we need to try to like open it up to some. I should ask a question to see what his take is. Otherwise, he wouldn't. It's not something you'd necessarily just say. So he's great at answering. He's always got something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's a hard job to do too. All of them are. Just to talk. Once you're talking, people are hating immediately.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay,
Who is this guy?
what am I
What's
gonna
he doing?
say? What should we say?
I mean, imagine like for us, we do live stuff here, and imagine if you guys had your live chat going on.
Like the comments
Yeah,
going.
like a live YouTube chat.
I
Well,
mean,
they
we
do
can
have
we
it.
can
They
look
did.
at them.
Yeah.
I don't.
But what I'm saying, you don't have a big screen
No, we
right there.
don't.
No,
with the
we
whole
can
chat
instantly see
going
it.
on.
You see it later. I mean, look, I had a piece of when I did it at Paul's Park for one of those little hybrid ones. Bro, I was so nervous trying to do that, and like you can tell, and people were saying that because I went and looked at it after the fact to kind of see like how I did and to see the comments. But I was like, dude, like this is hard, dude.
Yeah.
This is not the same as like being on the podcast. It's like
Right.
two totally different things. Right, and you got to
It
be
is.
ready and live, and
You got to be ready.
Yeah.
It's very structured. So
Yeah.
you got to be fitting in all these things right when they need to be fit in.
Yeah.
Totally.
I feel like also, it's hard. Well, I did a Phoenix AM with Chris Pastris, and I was just a color guy. They just wanted me there. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's to me is like that's a good. I can do that.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody like Chris Pastris or yourself, or that's really got it dialed in, and then it's just like you turn it on, I'm like, wow, that's like I could probably do that, but I don't know if I want to do that. That's
Right.
like a.
You're like more of a. You're
Takes
like
time.
doing more comedy. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
like to do more comedy. These guys are like literally
Well, I also.
trying to like say what's going on and how it's going.
Yeah, I guess my take on it too is like I think skateboarding's fun. So like let's have fun doing
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
let's not be stuffy suits, and stuffy suits meaning like stuffy, commentary that you hear on NBC type stuff. It's like let's have fun. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. It's skating, This is why we started skating.
You're absolutely right. It's hard to do that too, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the fun sometimes when you're like, this is a big job. Sometimes I go to the street league meetings, production meetings, and there's, all these camera guys there. There's the producers. There's people working everywhere, and it's a big operation, and so there's a lot riding on it. And if you're just gonna go in there and be like, dudes, don't worry about it. It's just fun. It might be like, well. It's have
wouldn't-
fun, but
I wouldn't-
also
But this is a job. Okay.
I wouldn't go that far as just to say like just
Right.
go have fun,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
more or less like how do you bring that fun aspect into
Right,
it, right?
right.
How do you walk that line
Yeah.
of sending the information along with being like having this as it's a fun thing.
You know who I think
And
Yeah.
is probably one of the best at that does it usually on the house live is Tim O'Connor.
oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Tim will like literally say what's going on, but he will say something completely nuts and funny, and sometimes it goes over people's heads, and sometimes you just hear everyone start laughing.
Yeah. He's kind of like he's the best ever, in my opinion. But you know what? Like as a live announcer, Duncan is incredible
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That dude kills.
He's been doing it for
Duncan.
days.
He's been doing it
dude.
forever. The voice of skateboarding. Props to Duncan.
He's
Pretty
doing it
much.
right. You could hear him right now. He's in Milwaukee actually, but you could hear him.
The turf's opening this weekend, guys. I'm gonna be there. Yeah, daggers.
Yeah, I love my life.
yeah.
I love my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Malto? Kind of fell into it. I felt like the same way you did. That like he kind of was just there. I felt
He
like,
just
right?
showed up. He was really good at it really fast.
He was going to skate like in one contest, and then he didn't skate, and then they brought him up there or something.
It was either that or the other way around.
I don't
it
think I
it
was
the other
there.
way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so He's awesome at it. But here's how I see it. Some people have a knack for it, but you still have to put in hours doing it,
Right.
and it's on the job learning, and it's like trial by fire. And I was talking to Sal Masakela, somebody who's also
Super
really good at doing
Super
it,
good.
and he made the best point ever. He's like, you have to take slams on the mic, just like you take slams on a skateboard,
Right.
and they're painful. And you're like, I took the slam. I said the thing that I would have never said if I wasn't having to be talking right now. You know,
What's one of your worst slams? You gotta take them, dude. You gotta.
I've taken so many. It's usually making predictions that there was one do tour where it was the bowl contest, and I was like, boom, that's your first place run. I'm spitting everywhere. That's the first place run you just saw. That's going to be the run everybody's chasing. You're like, now you know, we'll just wait on that score. And the score comes in 18th place. And I'm like, there's no recovering from that.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say other than to make light of it. Like,
Whoopsie.
Way off.
yeah, it's one thing if he's in second and you're like, whoa, I might have to take it up with the judges, Kelly.
Yeah.
But no, it was like, dude, either you don't know what you're talking about or those 5 judges are smoking crack. And I was like, dude, those judges are smoking crack today. Because I was like, no, this time, I don't know what they're looking at. What are they seeing? I mean, this dude smashed. So those things happen. And then what do you learn? You're like, all you can do is maybe keep your mouth shut a little more.
So you don't say like, hey, that should be first place.
I'll do it, but more with like not so definite.
Yeah.
Not like, there you go, 100%, you're winner. Give him the crown right now. More like, hey, that was a great run. I would like to see it in first. I think it's worthy.
More like your take.
Yeah.
Not throwing out a prediction.
Right. But those you learn, like, there's a lot of things like that come up.
So you got the street leagues going on.
Street leagues going on.
No more Olympics. You're not going to do that unless they ask you.
If they ask, I'll go.
Yeah.
I want to contribute.
I think it's weird. I not to go back to the Olympic thing, but I feel like it's weird because it's not a direct feed. They have like all these feeds going everywhere.
Yeah.
They have all these different announcers going on. I feel like it's kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
Where I feel like if they just kind of like stuck with one thing. And
just really make it good.
Make it fucking good.
Seriously.
You know? And include the Vert.
Include
The Vert.
Yeah.
That's what they need, I feel like. But
I feel like you could have taken the guy you said that did the NBC, like the main dude.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you could take that and then Sheckler could still be the color dude at the same time, right?
Hey, sign me up.
But you could do both. That's pretty.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons I was able to do that first Olympics is because I can do street and vert street and park. Not everybody, everybody can do street almost, but once it comes to park, they're like, is that an indie? Is that frontside indie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd be butchering
everyone
left and
here.
right.
Duran might be. Well, obviously Roger would be the best.
Yeah, Roger would be best.
Yeah, but I
I'd be
think
close to
Duran
that
would be
second.
second.
I'd be like, man, that spinny thing was amazing,
Yeah.
dude. Did he grab on that? I don't even know, dude. Shit.
Is it good to grab or bad?
Man.
Should he be grabbing?
Was that a roast beef?
Is that a real? What was that?
Do you ever do announcing outside of skateboarding?
No, I have not. I don't know if
They should get you to do the canoeing.
I'd love to. I'd love to try it.
That'd be amazing.
Just butcher it too.
I mean, they did it to skateboarding. Why
Yeah.
not do it to them?
Is he going backwards now? Is that switch? What are you guys? Is that like brushing your
He's
teeth
going
with the other
upstream like a
hand?
salmon.
But do you think you could do? You're not on that level. With you were saying that one guy that did NBC that
Right.
was like,
He can do, no joke. He does like sailing competition. He does college football. He does bowling.
What was the dude's name?
Todd Harris.
Okay.
You know who's else? Todd Richards is also a great commentator.
do you ever watch like
dude.
this guy Joe Davis? He does like the Dodgers stuff, but you could tell like there are certain guys in the industry that it's like know how to. I don't know. That's what they went to school for,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Vin Scully, man.
Vince, yeah.
To be honest,
Chick Hearn.
whenever I watch
Communications.
sports, I'm always impressed with they get they have a huge pool of people to pick from, and I think they're getting paid a lot. They get a lot of info too. They got people feeding them good info, but they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Just being able to deliver those points, coming in out of a commercial and getting from there into people dropping in and skating. As somebody watching, you don't want to be you're not supposed to be aware of the announcing at all. They're just talking and you're hearing and you're getting into it.
Right.
And that's hard to do. It's hard to figure out how do you make that work. So whatever. I like it.
So if the Olympics calls, you're in.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally. I'm
okay.
in.
And then
it's only going to help them. So at the end of the day,
and then what else we got going on besides the skate park and Skatepark of Tampa?
That's it.
Okay.
That's plenty. Keeps me busy.
You said video part possibly before.
Oh yeah. It's more for fun.
Sprak.
We put out Sprak parts, which are like 2-minute video parts filmed in the park.
Oh, you got a YouTube channel?
We do everything on Insta. We have YouTube, but
YouTube.
I can't. I don't. We don't have the right format. We just film with our phones, dude.
Guess what? Take the phone and turn it like this, and then you got the right format. It's easy. What the hell is going on here, Dubs?
hey.
Oh, you're just filming everything on the phone?
Anyway,
what they
yeah, we're working on some parts. I'm working on a part. It's a park part though, but I'm 53. It's my birthday. The standards are low.
I'll take it either way.
Happy birthday! Yeah.
So yeah,
That's amazing, dude. I mean, I'm just saying YouTube's a big platform.
No,
you know,
I
so
know.
you should
I'm
just
not-
do.
there's so much of everything.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
it's
I know.
hard to keep up. It's
Right.
hard to be
Yeah.
on top of. I can't even keep up with text, DMs, and
Yeah.
and emails.
These
I
days are
could be-
going by very fast.
You got to pick your platform almost,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, Instagram's great. I mean, it's where every skateboarder lives.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of that is on YouTube. YouTube is great, but also TikTok. I feel like they'd hate skateboarding. It's not really good for skateboarding.
Right.
But
But you
everybody
guys,
still lives on
you're focused
Instagram.
on YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
But because you can monetize it.
We monetize it. This is where we started, and everybody that watches our show is
Yeah.
on YouTube. We're on YouTube. So yeah, well, we do Instagram. Well, it's just like Instagram and YouTube,
Yeah.
but our main focus is YouTube.
I mean, obviously that's smart. I'm not saying like that's not a good idea. I just haven't gotten a chance to really get there yet, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, what about you do Skatepark of Tampa? You do Spot.
Yeah, but Skatepark of Tampa has money. Like they have budgets for stuff. We don't. We're just
I mean,
just
like for actually
figuring
making
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Skatepark of Tampa has full-time media crew.
What is
That helps.
Right. Okay.
What is your role, I guess, at Skatepark of Tampa?
Like event organizer. Well, first, Damn Am, you already know. Damn Am, I set them up start to finish. I do every last thing for Damn Ams, including like buying Kelly's plane tickets.
Okay.
And booking hotels, getting insurance, working with the sponsors, getting paid, making sure like they're in touch with our accounting department. Like, hey, you gotta. It never ends. And working with the media guys, making sure the marketing stuff is coming out
a
or
lot,
the
bro.
teasers coming out. Yeah. So that's just with Damn Am though.
Wow.
And then Tampa Am and Pro, we work on those all year round. And I play a similar role. I work with the webcast dudes too to make sure that and all the sponsors. That's like, is everybody communicating? Do we have all the commercials? Are they going to play in the right times? When the judges put in their scores, are they going to get to the screen? Are we going to see them or whatever? Like, are things happening? Are the people in place that can make all this stuff happen?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
So
Damn.
that's
and you're
that's-
announcing while it's going on.
Dude, my first few that I was doing it all, I almost had a nervous breakdown at a few times. Once like the internet went out mid contest, mid live stream,
Right.
like next in, taking his second run, trying to recapture the lead, Nigel Houston, boo, like everything off. It's like everybody looks at me like, what should we do? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. What do we do? Anyway, we fixed a lot of those problems. But yeah, so that's a lot. Tampa Am and Pro, Damn Am, running a skate park. and traveling to announce and doing just random stuff. We were just in France. We went to Far and High. You see that? Far and High?
Oh yeah, I did see that actually.
17th annual Far and High. You missed the?
No, I missed it. What was it?
It's in Paris, outskirts. It's at this cool skate park. Cue it up, Roger. Is he gone? Far and High. We were just there. Here we go. There's Skate Wine MBD. Are you guys familiar with him? He's an English YouTuber. He's great. He made a. Okay, so this is a spotlight edit from France.
This is one that just went down.
Yeah. So
look at that beautiful part.
Yeah. Great. It's very nice. Tampa Pro ish. Okay. There's your host.
There you are. There's Chris Blake again. He's everywhere.
We got to get him to turn pro. Come on, Pastris. Come on, pro model. Dude, I look tired. I was just off the plane for that too. It's not tired. It's just being 53.
That's a wild. That's an awesome place.
Dude, it's so great.
Park,
Yep.
Oh, I saw Julian was out there too.
Yep, Julian was there. Taiga Nagai won. He's
gnarly.
Dude. His last trick on the big rail was a big spin front blunt shove it at the end of a perfect run.
Wow. Yeah.
Big spin front blunt shove.
Yeah, down the big, like a gap out to big rail.
Huh.
Hey, he always ends it with some gnarly trick at the end.
Vincent Malou. Yeah. Felipe. Everybody was out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Great contest. Shout out to Christoph who runs it. Yeah, he's been doing it for 17 years, and it's cool. It's fun.
That's one of the beautiful parts about skateboarding is the traveling and getting to experience different cultures and different people and meeting people and just, listen, if it wasn't for skating, I probably would have never left the country. I'm just being honest. Like, no, exactly. I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I'd have that opportunity. I don't know if I'd make that opportunity for myself. I don't know.
What were your favorite places out there in the world?
Switzerland, incredible. Barcelona, I spent many summers out there. Lived there for 6 months. Australia is amazing. Love Australia. China is really nice.
Dude, it's so cool.
It's really. I had a great time out there.
It's surprising. It's not what you think it's gonna be.
Totally.
Yeah.
From a skateboarding aspect, it fucking kills it. I
love it. Lyon. Lyon, love Lyon in France, south of France. But so I think that's just it, man. Traveling and just.
How did you guys hold or do this event? Do they hit you up and then Skatepark Tampa comes out and does it?
Christoph started showing up in Tampa and talking to us saying, hey, I do this thing. You guys should, what can we do to get you there? So we struck up a partnership. We go and help run it, announce it, film it, etc. And he brings us out.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the top 10 AMs from this final go to Tampa AM Saturday.
Okay. So it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Gotcha.
It's since we didn't make it to Europe for a damn AM this year, just didn't pan out. We use this as a kind of a fill-in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's a sick fill-in.
Oh, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the park looks
Matt
great.
Shalefish at Skatepark of Tampa. He makes all this stuff happen too. He's a great photographer.
He's a funny dude too.
Yeah, he's got a great backside heel flip too.
Well, sounds like you got a lot of cool stuff going on. Busy, but still you got a lot of cool stuff. It's just rad to still be a part of skateboarding, and we live and breathe it. So
every opportunity feels like a blessing. Honestly, at this stage, it's like there's no guarantees. None of this was like, if you follow this path, you're gonna get there. Like, no, I've seen plenty of people follow the path, and there's there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just getting to show up, getting hired, and being invited on a show like this.
Yeah,
I love it.
Dude, we want to, of course, bro. We wanted to.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
you're good at what you do, bro.
Dude,
I'm being so honest. Like, you're really good at the commentating and everything. You're a good guy. You do a lot. All the work you do for Skatepark of Tampa. I always tell you, I'm like, dude, thank you for inviting me to all these things. And
thank you.
Yeah.
But I always tell you this. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Kelly is the best dude to work with. He's great.
Oh, we don't feel the same.
He's so easy to work with. He's always in a good mood. He's always in a good mood.
No,
he's great.
you can stop
that.
I love
we love working with Cal. I love bringing you on every trip.
No, thank you.
There's never even a question.
But I just trip out that what you guys did for skateboarding as a whole for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane and very respectable. I mean, I think skateboarding thanks you guys.
I agree, but props to Brian Schaefer for that one.
Hell
you
yeah.
know.
There's a lot of people behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
A lot of people behind the
A lot of
scenes.
people behind the scenes. And these are my favorite episodes. No offense to any skater out there or whatever, but man, the team managers, the photographers, the filmers, the people like you who do the contests. I mean, skater, obviously, but man, there's so many people that just keep skateboarding going.
Yeah.
You know it's a team effort, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
it takes a fucking village to make all this shit really happen.
It
So,
does.
especially
Yeah.
the guys that have been in it for quite some time. you
That's
know.
right.
So salute to
That's right.
you and Schaefer, and you
Yeah.
know, I mean, 30
Thanks.
years is no joke. You know,
No
doing
joke.
anything. So
I know. That's like, I tell Brian all the time, I'm like, Skatepark of Tampa is one of the strongest brands in skateboarding.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds weird because it's a skate park, but it's true.
It's
I mean,
a
how many
staple.
brands have been around for 30 years?
Well, just think about the contest alone.
Yeah.
Like that's just
Yeah.
to keep something like that going and to be so relevant.
Yeah.
Also, is if for 30 years to keep it that relevant, that's
That's a lot.
That's saying something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hearing
like,
that
for
name
sure.
for 30 plus years is pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
there's no other contest that's been doing that.
And you got dudes like Carlos D'Andretti. He was just on the show. He went to Skatepark of
Yeah.
Tampa. Everybody was hyped to see him and
know.
everything. Like out of sight, out of mind. Like
Yeah.
Carlos D'Andretti's not been around for a little bit.
He
That's-
went to
you know?
this last one.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
entered.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey,
So
you're
sick.
entering that like the VIP team manager contest?" He's like, "Nah, man." I was like, "Oh, okay." And no disrespect, and he ripped.
He ripped.
But
That's
like,
so dope.
I love it.
there's
I
a
love
lot
it.
of like former Brazilian champs right now that now come to Tampa to skate that TM contest.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just having a blast. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So dope.
Man,
So-
we're having a blast too, dude.
Me too.
And thanks for coming by, dude.
Thanks
We
for having
really
me.
appreciate
Yeah.
you. And well, I'll see you tomorrow at the.
Yeah.
Shout me out if you
For
if you
sure.
could. Yeah,
Yeah.
throw my handle out there too if you would, and
Okay.
have people follow me. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Kelly, we do the honors. Do you have room in your suitcase? We got some 9 Club stuff to take.
Yeah, I do.
Some birthday gifts for
Yeah.
you.
I'll take them.
Okay.
I got Sprak stuff for you guys too.
Do you
so do you
really?
got room in your
Oh,
suitcases?
of course,
What
dude.
size?
We
What
got
size are you?
What size do I look?
medium.
Small?
Yeah, medium. Come on.
Get him, get him a
He
big
said I
dog
was
gift.
so tall.
I'm a medium too, dude. Look, bro.
yeah.
This fits
What are you? You're
beautiful.
5'10".
6 foot.
6 foot.
Yep. Skinny though.
You're 5.
5'10" and a half.
Okay.
We got some. You got Sprak stuff for us?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, watch the headphones. Watch the headphones. There you
Are
go.
we still live?
We're still we're rolling, baby. We're rolling, dude.
I just got t-shirts.
Oh, I wanted to ask you when you get back on the mic. I wanted to ask you one more question about running the. Whoa!
Depends
Whoa.
what sizes and styles you like.
Look
Okay.
at this.
One
Well,
more
first
question.
of all, I want to give a shout out to they. I wonder if they even know.
No.
I wonder if Golf Wax.
Yeah.
Should I not say anything?
No, we
Okay.
could say everything. They don't know.
They know. You go to your local supermarket. That's the best wax
Yeah.
in the world.
That's
is
the
Golf
wax.
It's used for canning. And
Yeah.
so you made some shirts.
Well, we
you will get a
actually-
cease and desist from them.
That's okay.
Okay.
We only these are the only ones that exist. But no, if you want to buy at home
I'll
though,
take it one of
log on to
these.
sprakskatepark.com and we'll sell it to you. But we also do we repackaged Golf Wax and
you did?
remade the box and everything.
Oh,
and
amazing.
it's Sprak Wax now.
Sprak
but
Wax,
yeah.
okay.
Amazing.
So anyway.
But it is the best.
It's great wax.
The
It's the
best
only wax. Yeah.
ever.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you,
Uh-huh.
how much is a membership for a skate park like that, or can you just pay to get in? What's your
Yeah,
what are the
there's a
fees?
couple different options. One, you could just show up and pay $20 and skate all day if you're
Oh.
just from out of town. $20.
awesome.
But if you're a local, you could pay $50 a month and skate every day, all day. One flat fee. I thought that was going to be the biggest hit. That was
Ooh.
like, to me, that felt like a no-brainer. But people don't like to commit to a charge. Like,
Interesting.
yeah. So a lot of people, I've found this. Hey, $20, $20, $20, 20. I'm like,
Really?
dude, you spent $100 in the last week. You could have skated all month for 50.
Right.
They're like, yeah, I'll get there. And then they're the next time they're like $20, and they're like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine with me. I don't mind.
It seems like that might work better for you.
Yeah, it works better for me.
Yeah.
You
But
know-
it's just surprising.
You know what you need? You need the subscription base where it just renews every month on the credit card.
That's what it is.
Oh,
though.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, okay, that's not
too
a
many
bad
other subscriptions, bro. You already know how
Trust
many
me, dude.
subscriptions
Yeah,
out there.
I got a lot.
Yeah. But
Used
you
ones.
know, it's people don't want more subscriptions.
Ah,
Or do they do?
I mean, if you love what you're doing and,
Yeah.
and that's worth it, fucking do it.
but it's good for you
know?
because if they don't come skate for 2 months, you
Yeah.
got some free money right there.
Nah, you can go skate for 3 times and already got his $60.
Sounds like whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah.
So yeah, stick
gonna
with that.
keep it
You know,
going.
Don't listen to us. Don't listen to us. Paul, dude.
Hey.
pleasure. Thank you
The
so
pleasure's
much
mine.
for coming by
Sure.
and
Oh, yeah, dude.
talking with
Yeah.
us and
Oh, yeah, dude.
sharing your insight
dope,
on
man.
contests and announcing and
Yeah.
skateboarding and all that
Been
stuff.
fun.
We have the Yeti. Your coffee guy? Tea
Yeah.
guy? Oh
Yeah.
my God. The Yeti, I don't know if you've had it before. Many people have, but this is dishwasher safe. This will keep your coffee hot from here to Kentucky.
Boom. Thank you.
I don't know how long is that flight? 4 hours? 3 hours?
It'd be like three and a half, but I got layovers.
You'll still land with
yeah. I'll just
hot
still be
coffee.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also on the plane ride, we got Skull Candy.
Nice.
We got the Crusher ANC too. This
Yeah.
has so much bass in it. The person next to you might ask you to turn it down a little bit because it's got so much bass. I know you listen to that like techno, right? You're a techno guy.
How'd you know?
Trap music.
You look like a techno dude.
No,
like
I
you're
do.
a raver. I feel like you go to
I don't
raves and
rave,
so-
but
No?
I listen
Yeah,
to
that's
like
exactly what you look
I
like.
listen to like a lot of like German electronic music and
Do
stuff.
you really?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
messing
Yeah.
around. I was messing around.
You never know.
Yes.
And another thing you never know too is, still, I know you got Slap. Did you have cover Slap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might get the cover of Thrasher still. Don't, I know you're filming the video part. So
That's true. I'm friends with Burnett, so come on.
Dude, sticker on the board, photo incentive. We still do that here. The
Okay.
old fashioned way though, you have to Xerox copy it, send it to us, and then we'll do $20 photo incentive.
Nice,
Cover,
okay.
only the cover of Thrasher.
Budget or buttery. Yep.
That's right.
Yep. It'll be budget. But
We don't we don't know what colors you like, but we have a whole warehouse here.
I usually like a blue and like a little gold trim.
Okay, well, perfect. Look at this. We got a nice 9
Yeah.
Club
That is
hoodie
nice
for you
there.
right there. No, anything you want, we got you. We'll exchange it for you in the back. if you
Okay.
want.
No. I'm stoked.
9 Club T-shirt to
Beautiful.
go along with that.
Beautiful.
You wear it tomorrow at the contest.
And
I might.
Oh, okay.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there
right
you
there.
go.
With a nice signature on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure people on Slap message board had something to say about that too.
That was so long ago, the internet wasn't around.
Oh,
back
that's
then.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
This is true.
I'm going to tell you one quick story about that.
Please do.
That's Caballerial at Kona. Not Kona, sorry, Stone Edge in Daytona, Florida, on the vert ramp. The thing that always made me a little sad in a way is I was skating that vert ramp with 30 rollerbladers. The whole deck is rollerbladers.
Wow.
If so, Lance Dawes shot that photo. If you panned out like 2 feet, you'd have seen 50 boots with wheels on them lined up. Like, when's this guy gonna bail again? Ready to drop in.
Dude.
I was the only skateboarder, and it was like 100 degrees that day. One other thing, you might I got duct tape around my wrists because they had a wrist guard rule. They're like, you can't skate without wrist guards. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to shoot the cover of Slap wearing wrist guards. So
Oh, you
they're like,
knew you were going to shoot.
Wow.
No, I didn't know.
Oh,
I was pretty stoked though.
Were
That
you
was
on?
pretty
Were you? Did you ride for Airwalk?
Yeah. Yes. In fact, I got a story for everything. I lived with Brian Howard, who also rode for Airwalk, and Alan Russell, who King of Ebor. Do you know him? King of Ebor, Alan
I
Russell.
know Ebor. I don't know if I know him.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's rad builder. He's builds skate parks these days. But we all skated for Airwalk, and it was Jason Lee's shoe days. We would each get a box of like 10 pairs of Jason Lee's, and we made towers of Jason Lee's shoe boxes. There's no way you could wear that many Jason Lee's.
Really?
We had like hundreds of pairs in the house.
that was
And
a
I don't
good
have
shoe.
one pair anymore. I'm like, man.
Oh, you
You
should
didn't
have kept.
save one.
Are you not a collector or
No,
like
I'm
a
not.
hoarder or anything? Do you have any of
Not.
your old stuff?
I've got a
pro
magazine
stuff?
collection
Okay.
for days, and I've got one of every pro model,
model.
but
Nice.
that's
Okay.
it. That's it.
That's
That's
still
anything
nice to
else.
We didn't even say. I don't think we even mentioned the name Birdhouse the entire time so far. But
Oh, yeah.
that was your thing.
That was.
Did you do like a graphic recently? Didn't you do like a reissue of something?
It was a cool opportunity. Strangelove did it.
That's right.
They did a re-release of of boards from me and Mike Frazier and Brian Howard, because we were the Tampa Vert dudes in the 90s, and Nick Halkias is the Strangelove. Have you had him on Skateboard
No.
Museum?
No.
He's something else. He'd be great on here. He knows a lot.
Is
He's
that the Florida Skateboard Museum?
yeah.
Oh.
He's got the biggest. I think he has the biggest skate collection in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
with more than
Whoever.
Todd Huber?
I think it's
Skatepark?
possible. Yeah, but maybe not. I'm not going to claim anything.
Okay.
But his collection is insane. So he was in charge of the Strangelove collab
Is this
deal.
it?
This is it.
Yeah.
This was the re-release of a Birdhouse, the infamous Birdhouse germ graphic that Jeremy Klien gave me.
Did he draw it?
No, he didn't draw
Oh.
it, but it was his idea.
Okay. That's
Wait,
still, that's still
why
rad.
germ?
Well, it was technically a zit.
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
it was a dis board. Like it was a disc. Look up Roger. Cue up the Birdhouse.
Well, they got JC. It's JC.
Yeah, Roger's editing.
Oh, the JC.
Which need?
We need the original Birdhouse Zitzer germ. It was called the germ, but graphic.
He's looking it
you
up.
can find it.
So it was a diss.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard Jeremy Klien will say like that story's not true, but I don't care. I think it's true and it's fine. If it's not, oh well. If it is, that's fine. I had a Birdhouse graphic that was in a CCS catalog, and the kids it was called the Bear 2. Everybody. All these kids liked it at the time because it was a happy bear face, and it just sold really well. Okay. And Jeremy didn't want me on the team in the first place, and he was annoyed that it was selling well. This is what I heard. This is not. I can't. This isn't going to hold up in court. So this is hearsay and secondhand info. But so he's like, okay, I'm going to give him the worst graphic ever next time, so it doesn't sell, and that's what happened. So, all right, JC, Bear 2 and original germ.
I got like a sticker of the original germ and then some concept art too, but I, can't
he's
find the
got
board.
this. I don't know.
Oh, no.
This is not it.
Bert, I think you're going to have to search like straight up, like on eBay or something for a original Birdhouse. Birdhouse? Yeah. Okay, wait. Scroll. Well, there's Bear 2. You can see the bear. See, there's a bear right in the middle of the board in the screen.
wait,
that's the bear.
okay.
That's the board that sold really well. And I still get random people telling me occasionally, like, that was my first skateboard, and that always
Really?
sounds so cool. But yeah, the germ should be in this. I've seen it in Art of Skateboarding because I'm friends with that guy who runs it.
So he uploads all the graphics?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's
That is
super cool.
crazy.
Wait, so yeah, it should be down.
There's 10 million graphics.
There's a lot of Birdhouse
A
ones.
lot of bird. Well, they've been around for a long time.
Oh, there it is on the left of your screen, the red board. Yeah,
Okay.
the germ.
Oh.
So that's the.
Oh, you gotta be a member?
Can we zoom in on it or anything? There you go, JC. Let's get that.
Good.
We're going to do it without becoming a member. We'll become a member.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
well,
the
that's
bear.
The bear too.
No, keep going down.
Do we edit this?
No. We'll just keep it in. Oh, right
There it
there, right
is.
there. Yeah. Can you not click on left click it or something? Open it up in a new window.
Like keeps moving.
Either way,
There it is.
Terrible.
Not the link. Not the link. Open image. Yeah, there we go. Boom.
Ah.
so
Okay, there it is. That was the original
actually-
germ.
that's the original germ.
And then he did the zit.
Well, that
That's
is
the
no
zit.
look. Like
Oh,
look at
that's
my
the-
look at my name on the bottom left there under his foot.
Oh, the
Zit.
zit.
Yeah.
Zer.
I don't know why I did not think of that.
Wow.
Anyway, I didn't like it when I got that board in the mail. Dude.
You didn't like
You
it?
didn't wait. So you just showed up and you're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, this was obviously pre-internet days, pre-everything. You'd get packages in the mail. You'd write letters, phone calls. So yeah, board came in the mail, and I'm like,
This is it, huh? This is what I got.
that's pretty harsh.
But you never had any any like input on what your graphics would be then, right?
No, not there. I usually liked them though. They usually had pretty cool graphics.
I mean, the bear one's sick.
People like the bear.
Yeah. Do you have that? Do you have that board?
Yeah. I got one of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Even
you
the
go.
Zit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
I hung that one up. That one has become my favorite over time. Right. That's why when the Strangelove thing was happening, they asked me like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "It has to be this." Right. I mean, that's the only one with like a story. So there it is. So Sean Cliver did this graphic.
I love that.
Again, I'm always like,
So good.
that's like, I just feel lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever talk to Jeremy about it?
No, I've never talked to Jeremy in my life. But you know what's funny?
Well, we got to surprise you. Jeremy, come on in. We got to.
You know what's funny? People always tell me, they're like, you guys would probably get along really well. And I'm like, man, I don't know if that's saying a lot.
Well, you have no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always heard, like, I see him hanging out with Willie.
Oh, yeah.
And, you're like, oh, it looks like he's a good, chill dude. Goes to Chili, or not Chili's,
Chili's,
Hooters.
Oh, man, yeah,
I'm like,
of
oh,
course.
okay.
He's
He
been
can
wanting
kick
us to fucking kick it for a while.
Yeah.
He said either come to Hooters or Korean barbecue. So,
I was like, damn.
Yeah. I love Willie though. Willie's
I've been talking to Jeremy Klien. I'm trying to get him on the show. It just keeps.
Yeah, he wants us to go to Hooters, and that's going to kind of determine whether or not he's going to come on.
But he said
that's like a test, like a trial run. Like, are you guys
Pretty
cool?
much.
That's crazy. You never talked to him ever?
No, actually, I did talk to him once on the phone.
Okay, so you lied.
No, yeah, but I forgot. I wasn't lying. It was an oversight. I misspoke.
I'm kidding.
I talked to him on the phone. I never hung out with him. Like when we went on Birdhouse tours in that era, he wasn't on them. He never showed up. So it was really weird. I was like, it would probably be helpful if he got to know me. Maybe we would be best bros and he'd give me a cool graphic.
Right.
But that didn't happen. So
I'll call him
All right.
right now. You want me to call him? I'll give him a call.
You have his number?
I got it. Yeah, I text with him all the
what
time.
do we? Nah, I don't want to talk
Not
to
all
him.
the time. Okay.
It would maybe it'd make for good content though. But I
don't want to cold call Jeremy Klien.
Yeah.
He'd probably be mad.
Yeah.
Interrupt him when he's eating his wings.
You got hardware.
Yeah, we
Take
started
it.
a hardware company.
Nice.
Not just nuts and bolts, just normal.
Yeah.
We everybody that's on the show is on the team. I don't care if you have another hardware sponsor. I don't care if you own a hardware company. You are on the team. We have the biggest team in skateboarding history. We have about 370 now, the episode number, something like that.
Yeah.
But welcome to the team.
Thank you.
2 packages
Stoked.
of bolts a year.
Can I get a pro model
No.
Vert bolt?
No.
A Vert
But we did give you-
bolt? What size is Vert skaters bolts?
Same. I'm just joking.
About 1.5 inches.
Well, you got
Inch
skate
and a
riser
half.
pads or no?
Nah.
I'm so out of touch with like what like a Vert skater wants
The
to skate.
biggest difference between a vert board and a street board is a vert board tends to have a little bit bigger wheelbase instead of like a 14 and a quarter. Maybe it's like 14, even maybe 14 and 3/4, and then bigger wheels. I tried to ride as small of wheels as I could and still have speed because I didn't like a giant board, but you have to ride a big wheel because you're going super fast.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Didn't you wait? Sorry, you just popped. Did you pop shove at the double set? Was that you? The one in Tampa? You? I never seen that. Like, wait, Paul did that? Because I just don't. I just remember you skating vert so much.
Well, what is it? Now we have to pull it up. What is it?
And what was that in though?
It's definitely a Josh Stewart video.
What?
Oh,
Double
Cigar
set.
City. Cigar
It
City.
might have been Cigar City. It might have been Rising, the World Market video. I don't know if you
yeah.
saw that one.
What double set?
The brick one, the famous like one cost
Oh,
$1
yeah,
back
yeah,
heel.
yeah.
I mean, that was a small double set.
Was it?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
you know what was big was that the one that cost and switch backside flip, the one that's off like the
loading dock
The
where he
loading
landed
dock.
on like the white strip. Yes. I think that's the ghetto gap.
Yeah.
And it's big.
yeah. And like, there's so like iconic spots in that little Ybor city that
Yeah.
some are still there, most are gone, but
Yeah.
that was a spot to live at one point. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, it was crazy that everyone skated Tampa. But when I go there now, it's like nothing really going on. Like there's a skate scene, but it's not like that. There's not as many spots. I feel
It was
like.
always harsh for spots. That's why it was easy to be a vert skater there because street skating. I mean, Tampa, Florida is flat, so there's not a lot of stairs, and there's no reason to build a bank up to anything because it's all just flat.
Yeah, true.
and then like all the ledges and hubbas and all that is like made out of cinder blocks.
That was not it.
That was not it.
That was
Well,
like San Diego.
It's reminiscent of what it could look like.
Yeah,
I think.
it would look similar to that.
Right.
Dude, Street Paul. Dude.
There it is.
That kind of
That was a good one. That was a good one, dude. Well, listen, we'll
Let's
wrap
get
it
out
up.
of here. Yes, thanks, dude.
Come back anytime.
Yes, dude.
And dude, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It was easy, right? It was easy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.
There you go.